place playoff. So the group stage is over. Japan, the free kick for Ghana.
Well, he played for it. And he got it.
As I say, from the foremost recent meetings in the Africa Cup of Nations, Mali winning both the third place playoffs. It's Partey. Andre Ayew. Chiampong back to Wakaso. Ayew fouled, it's a free kick. Wage penalised.
Too much stop-start at the moment, too eager. We can sense both teams really are very much up for the game. We spoke recently about the Ivory Coast, how slow they were out of the blocks, but both of these teams very bright and quite urgent.
Samoa Jean, closely watched by Koulibaly. 31 now, Samoa Jean, but so much tournament experience. Cross goes in. Mali get it away. Sako can't get there. It's a throw for Ghana. Harrison Affle with it, who's no doubt relieved to be playing after a malaria scare this week. And the malaria cost Samoa Jean a place in the opening match of the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea. Atsu. From Partey. Harrison Affle. Switched in towards Wakaso Mubarak. Taken away by Deer. Ayew, his brother Andre. The touch out again, and now Mali can attack maybe. Sent forward for Yetabare to chase after, but Harrison Affle across to touch it back to Brimarazak.
Yeah, they look a nicely balanced side. Ghana, the two full-backs are quite small, compact, but both want to get forward, very comfortable on the ball. The two centre-backs very organised, very disciplined. Middle of the park very busy, and you can see how Grant can believe that they can go the whole way. They are a team full of talent and of course have got goals in the side.
Samoa Jean and Andre Ayew, two members of the starting 11 here who actually played in both the finals of 2010 and 2015, using both of them. 1-0 by Egypt in 2010, and they lost a penalty shootout to Ivory Coast 2 years ago. Say back to the keeper, Brimarazak. Expect to see Ghana with plenty of the ball throughout the 90 minutes in this game, but there is pace and power in the Malian team.
I think it's their organisation which has given them so much joy. They're a very disciplined side, they're very organised, and they're hard to break down. You just feel today that Ghana are going to produce something a little bit special to get that important, which I always feel, opening goal.
He kept it tight against Egypt. Mali, a 0-0 draw against the 7-time winners is not a bad start. I mean, it's a really tough group, this one. You feel for Uganda, back in the tournament for the first time since 1978, and find themselves pitched against 7-time winners Egypt, 4-time winners Ghana, 5-time semi-finalist Mali. Wage is under pressure from Samoa Jean, and that will go for a corner.
A little bit of indecision. I think he needed a little bit more help from the goalkeeper. And if in doubt, he did the right thing. Certainly not in the right area, but just get the ball away and then organise the troops, make sure they're back, and everybody's picked up. Corner kick. If this is the first of the game, just I was looking to see how the set pieces work out. We saw the Ivory Coast scoring a great goal from a set piece, a corner kick. Can Ghana do the same?
Ayew with the corner. Well, the header on was from Andre Ayew. The two brothers almost combining.
Big chance, you know. Trying to even control the ball and drill it home. I think he was surprised to find so much space. Didn't catch it properly. I think it even came off his shoulder. But I think we've been called that the first chance of the game.
Centre back John Boyd was looking to get a defining touch on it, but it was past him before he could get there.
I always think that little star run grouping gives you a chance to find space, because it's very hard to pick four in a cluster like that.
Marega fighting for that one and wins the free kick, followed by Wakaso. Set piece. Certainly have the height advantage over Ghana. Mali. They have really tall players in their squad. They will be a threat from set pieces. Koulibaly jumping for that one. Mate winning the header initially. Athol helps it on, and here's Atsu. Christian Atsu playing in the Championship for Newcastle these days. He's still owned by Chelsea. Everton, your former club, Brian?
Yes, we were speaking before we came on air about the number of players now playing in the Premiership, and certainly playing throughout Europe. And we look back over all those years ago when this tournament started, and the way it's progressed and how much better it is, quality of player, quality of defending, and generally now you can expect a decent game with a lot going on.
Strong challenge from Koulibaly. There's the Moja. After today, it will be just one cap away from becoming the first Ghanaian player to be capped 100 times. Should come in the match against Egypt, but of course, should they qualify with 2 wins, you never know. There might be match changes and may have to wait to the quarter-finals.
Actually, the games I've watched so far, I've got to say the refereeing standard, with the link up between the management team, the linesmen, the assistant referees, has been generally very good. There was a little pull on the shirt. Referee certainly couldn't see it, and his assistant did very well to spot it.
Well, the early signs are that this is bubbling up into fantastic Africa Cup of Nations. Some wonderful games yesterday with Ivory Coast and DR Congo drawing 2-2, Morocco winning 3-1 against Togo.
Still think back about those goals. Some special shots, some good headers, and exciting counter.
It's turning into what you want a group stage to turn into. After today, everybody would have played 2 matches, and so far, nobody is out of the competition, and only Senegal have guaranteed themselves a quarter-final place. What a wonderful few days we're going to be in for the final round of matches in each group.
Yeah, but just relating back to the African Cup of Nations, the way it's developed, we always expected some fantastic play, some magnificent goals, but the organisation defensively is so much better now.
Here's Atsu. Cross in. Away by Wage. Here's Sako. Switched across to the other wing now, gets away from Ayew. Really good challenge though from Ejiampo. Here's Yatabare.
Just before that.
He's a player who certainly gets stuck in, isn't he? Wakaso.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he actually made contact with the ball there. He may have played the player as well, but he definitely was a jump in. That's what the incident is. That's what the infringement is. Studs showing. Yeah, competitive, you've got to say, but I think once you jump into any situation, even though they make contact with the ball, referees seem to look for that now, don't they?
In your day, that's fine, isn't it? As long as you touch the ball first, it didn't matter what came afterwards.
Absolutely.
Not now.
Yeah, I think they're so much into health and safety, and the trailing leg might hurt. It's difficult now to be a referee. I think there's so many grey areas, and you've got to make very quick decisions.
Sako. Ghana struggling to get it away. Finally they do through Atsu. Chimpong. Andre Ayew. Seems to have been around for so long. Andre Ayew. Still only in his mid-20s. Started his international career so early, 72 caps already in the bag. This is his 5th Africa Cup of Nations. Christian Atsu. He actually won the Under-20 World Cup with a really talented Ghanaian team in 2009. A few of that squad have gone on to become full internationals. Jonathan Mensah, Manuel Badu.
It's a cheap free kick, isn't it? You know, he's tried to get it, and I'm not sure there's an awful lot of contact there, but sometimes you say to defenders, you simply can't win it. You've just got to make sure that you put yourself in a good defensive position so that he can't turn. This is a dangerous position now, you're right. Mali do have the advantage in height, but if there's good service in, which these guys can deliver, sometimes you don't need height, you just need to direct the ball into the goals.
Casso over it. Playing in Greece for Panathinaikos these days after he signed from Russian club Rubin Kazan. Played in Spain for Espanyol and Villarreal, had a loan at Celtic. Real tiger in that midfield for Ghana. This ball is played in towards Jan. Difficult header to try and cope with though, and then Koulibaly with the header away for Mali. It's a foul on a free kick for Ghana. Going against Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, I think it was a push shove, both of their arms. This is the header, just slightly behind him. Again, another one to come off the corner, or the shoulder, and it was a decent service in. I think it was just in a little bit early. When you create that space, that's where you know the ball's going to be played into or set on top of the defender. You want to be trying to make it at the same time as the ball arrives.
Koulibaly. This is Mane. Koulibaly. For Mali. To Sambu Yatabare. Wasn't a bad cross in either. Harrison Affle with the header away.
No, it was better than okay. It was a really good cross, and he'd be disappointed. The coach will be as well as the rest. He'll be asking forward players to at least challenge the ball. Don't allow the defenders to get a clear view of it and just an easy header away.
Casso. Again. I thought it was when he was a youngster with Casso Mubarak that he would go on to be a top figure. Michael Essien perhaps. He's a top player, but not quite at the level of Michael Essien.
He's tested and proved to be one of the better players from that part of the world, that's for sure.
John Boy. It's a free kick now for Ghana.
Good challenge. Good contact with the ball. Quite a lot of free kicks, quite a lot of infringements so far in the game. Has been very stop-start.
Towards Jan. Koulibaly seems to be picking up Asamoah Gyan at the moment. Here's Atsu. Faced by Henry Traore. Lovely play by Atsu. Can he pick somebody out? Oh, Andre Ayew really should have scored. There was a bit of miscommunication between Ayew and Asamoah Gyan, but that really should have been the lead for Ghana.
Well, fantastic play from this little man. Lovely skill, poor defending, got to say. Picked the one player out. Yeah, it was a simple tap in, but what it needs is good communication there. They just got in each other's way, but this was terrific play, and what a miss.
I having taken it on, he really should have scored, but in the first place, Brian, should he be leaving that for Jean, who seemed to be more naturally coming onto it?
Well, there's no doubt about it. I don't think he saw him. I felt that he was concentrating so much on getting the ball, but that's where you need a little bit of vocal. You know, if you just give a name, he's coming in, it's a simple tap in, and that's a huge chance gone.
6:45 tonight for Egypt against Uganda. That is in this group, remember, 7-time winners Egypt, back in the tournament, having missed 3 in a row since winning the last of their 3 successive Cup of Nations, looking for their first goal and their first win of the competition against Uganda back in it since 1978 for the first time. Yatabare. Bonnie well with Koulibaly. Wins the corner for Mali.
It's amazing when chances like that are missed. It seems to lift the team who got off, you've got to say, a little bit lucky. The team who just missed the chance sort of sets them back on their heels, and you can see Mali really taking advantage of it, getting players forward and set piece, and as you say, they've got tall players.
Well, it goes Wage's header. It's just too high, but a little warning shot there for Ghana.
Yes, again he found himself a little bit of space. The player who was marking him wasn't even looking at the ball, was trying to just jump in front of him. Coming together of heads there, that's not a problem. But you've called it again very right. Mali very tall, very athletic, and you just feel from set pieces 25 yards out, corner kicks, they've got a little advantage. So Ghana, it's in their interest not to give away silly free kicks or silly corners.
Sila. It's by no means full, this stadium, but those who are inside are making a fantastic noise. It has that special atmosphere, doesn't it, the Africa Cup of Nations?
Oh, I think it's almost unmatched, isn't it? The colour and the attitude of the people, the noise they make, the songs, the instruments blowing and beating. It's terrific.
Wage. There's no doubt Mali, certainly one of the best African nations never to have qualified for a World Cup. Probably be one of those countries delighted with FIFA's decision to expand the tournament to 48 teams.
It's brilliant skill.
Jan. It's the free kick. Player who sampled the Premier League in his time with Sunderland. Moved to the Middle East. He's with Al Ahly now in the United Arab Emirates. He's been in China for Shanghai SIPG. 1 cap away from the 102 goals away from 50 international goals. Cross it in towards John! We'll make that one away from around 50 for Ghana. Terrific header from Asamoah Gyan. And Ghana take the lead here against Mali. And there's the celebrations. It's never a simple handshake from the captain when Ghana score, and certainly not when it's Asamoah Gyan.
I think you've got to watch them and wait to see what's going to happen next. But you've got to say, fantastic goal. It has been threatened. They are a good side. We say there's goals in them. They've got players who can take the ball beautifully. First touch and take it away. Put in the early cross. The arrival in the box of Gyan was fantastic. And well, that's a message to someone. Get well soon.
Yeah, Babarakman, the full-back, the left-back in the opening game, who has done his anterior cruciate ligament, who's flown home for an operation.
Fantastic take, that, wasn't it? Wonderful take. Took it away from the defender. Wonderful cross. You've got to question the marking. The header's perfect. Bottom right-hand corner. This is super. You know, it's placed in with a bit of pace. You've just got to find the net. He certainly did that. Placed it beautifully. Keeper no chance.
His 6th Africa Cup of Nations. And he just loves scoring at major tournaments, does Asamoah Gyan. In his 99th appearance for Ghana, it's his 49th goal. True legend. He's the record caps holder and the record goal scorer for Ghana. Really Pele may be the greatest player that Ghana have ever had, but Asamoah Gyan is certainly their greatest goal scorer.
Well, I've got to say, we've spoken about the quality of goals, and that's right up there. You can always look at the defending and find fault, but you're looking for the good parts of a move like that. I thought the take was fantastic when he came into the body and he took it all in one movement. Had a little glance up, played it in. You could see 3 white shirts in the box. They were coming in, they knew the cross was coming in, and the way it was dispatched was super.
Ghana 1, Mali 0. That is 1 foot in the quarter-finals for Ghana, who, remember, if they win, will qualify ahead of the final match against Egypt. Remember, the 7-time winners and the team who beat Ghana in the 2010 final. There's no doubt when the draw was made, they will have hoped to have wrapped up qualification before that match against Egypt. Long way to go here, though. And Mali have shown already that they can be a threat. Classic Asamoah Gyan finish, though. Made his name at the top level of the game with Udinese, as so many Ghanaian players have in the past.
It's also good for Jordan Ayew to take part in that move, because he was part of the problem with regards to what missed chance. So, they'll feel that they've read it the wrong and put that first goal in the back of the net. I think when we look at that goal again, we'll definitely look at the quality of the first touch. We'll take it away from the player, immediately looking to put the cross in. That was really special.
Here's Atsu. It was a struggle against Uganda. Oh, Atsu is taken down by Amari Traore. I was about to say it was a struggle against Uganda, but if Ghana settle down and play the kind of football we know they're capable of, it could be a difficult afternoon for Mali. He's claiming that Atsu took a dive there, but it certainly looked a foul to me.
Well, from our position, there was contact, you felt. Yeah, there was definitely a coming together. I think maybe would he have got the ball? I think he might have got that. There was a covering player. But sometimes when you give away a free kick like that, you don't make too much of a noise about it, because I think he's got off without a yellow card. Referee has done reasonably well just to get the free kick and get on with the game.
Mali rocking here. Can Ghana take advantage?
Yeah, you feel if Ghana can get that second goal, I think it'll be a very, very difficult game for Mali after that.
Jordan Ayew to deliver.
This is a smart concept, isn't it? Marking the ball and marking the 10 yards. I think this makes it so much easier for a referee.
Yeah, such a simple innovation that's worked really well. Clipped in by Jordan Ayew. Yeah, throw for Ghana.
Well, the big guns that come up from the back, and they don't want that throw-in taken very quickly. They want to get back and get organised, which is just right.
Gyan. It's the centre forward who's penalised. Kick for Mali.
Fantastic pass that, wasn't it? 50 yards. Pinpoint, terrific. And this is where the little man's so clever. He just runs at people, uses that pace. Definite free kick. Yep. Definite free kick.
It's hard to see why Chelsea signed him. He hasn't really had a look in at Stamford Bridge since moving from Porto. He's 25 now, Christian Atsu, but so much ability. Scored 2 goals in the quarter-final 2 years ago in Ghana's victory against Guinea. Sacco. Work initially from Sacco, but foot in from Partey. With Sissoko.
Jordan Ayew does so well along that line. He's really playing up front, and Gyan is trying to fill the little space, the little pocket in behind him. It takes a special player to try and work the 2 centre-backs, still get the ball and have the ball in front and also look behind, and Ayew tries to do that.
Koulibaly. Really see that ball bobbling, can't you? Even when somebody plays a 5-6 yard pass.
Yeah, the pitch is in terrific condition. I always remember my time with national coaches, Antigua and Barbuda, with the boys there. They were terrific. You know, the pitches on the island wasn't great. The national stadium was very good, but they had a good attitude. They accepted the conditions and just got on with it. And these guys today are doing exactly the same thing.
Mali playing it forwards. We were joking the other day, weren't we, about watching you in action in an FA Cup semi-final, 1977. There was no grass at all in the penalty area.
All those years ago, it was 3 seasons really, wasn't the start of the season. The pitches were always very good and lush, and then the middle of the season they were heavy and wet and muddy. And the end of the season was the one I didn't like, where they got very dry and very bubbly, a bit like today. And I just didn't like playing in those. You had to watch the ball so carefully, and this is why I'm in admiration with these guys. They've really put their mind into it. They accept the pitch isn't perfect. They're just making the very best of it.
It's an effort. It's over hit. Yeah, when you think of the pictures that Andre and Jordan Ayew and playing on every week, week in, week out, Championship or the Premier League in England.
Well, I think, you know, really most pitches you watch now in different parts of the world, the pitches are always of a very good standard. You're quite right about the special conditions in the English game. And this is why it must be so difficult for players who have moved away from their homeland and playing in Europe, and then they come to play on a pitch which maybe not as good as it should be. I think also when I look now, you know, you used to think the training ground was a place just where you went to train, but the pitches there now are of the same quality as the actual match pitches.
Ghana had a bit of a problem when they turned up at the wrong training ground by all accounts on Thursday and found that Uganda was still mid-training session, and they had to sit on the bus for over an hour until Uganda had finished, and then they could have their training session. Ghana, so a little bit of a mix-up. Hasn't done them any harm though. They're leading Mali 1-0, and it was certainly worth the lead from the opening half an hour.
Well, I think so. I think they look like the team most equipped to win the game. They've definitely got players who can take chances and make chances.
It's Koulibaly. Yatabare swings the cross in towards Marega, but Aful gets it away for Ghana.
Oops.
And now it's Atsu, who really looked at it in the first half here. Christian Atsu, he's given Amari Traore a torrid time, the Malian left back.
Thought he was going to be taken out halfway down that run. And he is quick, very determined. Whoops. That's where I thought it was going to happen, but he got away with it. I think this is why Ghana, you believe, must have a great chance of going the whole way in this competition. They have got such a well-organised defence.
Made in by Ayew. Oh, beaten away by Sissoko.
And here we saw just what they can do when they get forward. They've got players who can create and players who can score. Half a chance, has a little look. And I think the pleasing thing for me was there was white shirts in the box looking to pick up any pieces. So you've got to say the coach must be quite pleased with what he's witnessed so far. The rest, the Mali coach, well, he'd be a little bit concerned, but he knows that the Black Stars are a decent side.
Jordan Ayew, only 2 goals behind his brother Andre, despite playing nearly 30 times less.
There's a little situation, you see the ball coming in there, the defender goes, will I, won't I? It's a difficult one, he pulled out at the end, and I thought he did the right thing.
Here's Saka. Put in from Aful.
He looks to the one player who maybe can create something, Bakary Sako, because he wants to run with the ball. He's powerful on the ball. But you're looking to see where else they can create. But certainly if they get set pieces, long throws, corner kicks, they can score a goal.
Atsu. Too far away from Asamoah Gyan. This is Yatabare. Chased away by Chimpong. Sent forward by Andre Ayew. with the throw. Sacco. It's a disappointing cross in the end.
Yeah, we saw from Brampton. I think he was speaking with the referee. He felt there was an infringement in there that his team weren't getting their fair share of. This is the goal, and I just thought that first touch was absolutely brilliant. The measured cross, just it was all in the cross. All he had to do was make sure he made contact with it. He did that ever so well. Jan, and super goal.
It's a proper header, wasn't it?
There's a dance. What was it all those years ago? You just shook hands and said well done.
It
certainly wasn't exciting, was it?
I don't reckon you ever celebrated one like that.
We had a bit of style, we had a bit of class. Not sure about the rhythm.
Here's Sacco. He's been a good outlet actually. Sacco and Yatabari on that far side have seen plenty of it for Mali. So far though, Afo and Achiampong have stood firm.
Well, that's where there's that little touch of composure, touch of class that Ghana have at the moment over them. They can pass the ball out and play out and get it to the front people. A little bit of a little bit of magic there, but the ball just ran out of play. It's that little bit of imagination, I think, which makes them different.
Well, I think we've already had goal of the tournament with Piketty for Burkina Faso. Atsu scored goal of the tournament 2 years ago. Just a reminder of the tennis for you tonight. Australian Open live on Eurosport and Eurosport Play. Andy Murray in action against Germany's Misha Zverev from 3 AM on Eurosport 1. Traore. So back again, Amaury Traore. So Christian Atsu was actually voted the best player of the tournament and scored the best goal. Those individual awards don't mean an awful lot, do they, when you lose the final on penalties, which is what happens at Ghana.
Well, it's always nice from a prestigious point of view, a little bit of an ego trip, but certainly if you ask any player, it's the winner's medal they're all looking for, and it's a collective thing then because you're sharing it with your teammates, and I think that's always a bit special.
Hasn't had too much to do so far. Brima Razak plays in the Spanish Segunda Division with Cordoba. Playing his second Africa Cup of Nations. It's Traore. It's Amaury Traore. Into Wakaso. Played just the one warm-up match ahead of this tournament, Mali. They beat Burkina Faso by a goal to nil, but that was their only win in the last 4 games, including the draw here with Egypt. Tabare trying to get the cross in. He's won the corner.
Yeah, it's something we always say to defenders, you know, that's the way to defend, but I just feel that Mali, from what we've seen so far, set pieces are going to be the main area where they're maybe going to get something, and sometimes you maybe, as a defender, you've got to change your angle a little bit and say, I'm not going to give you the corner, you've got to go inside me just to, give them something to think about.
There's no question that this spells the biggest danger for Ghana. Any set piece. And it goes, it's too high though for Koulibaly. Ghana looking to counter, but that was a clear foul. They have themselves a free kick.
I think the referee's done brilliant there, because there was 1, the foul, and 2, kicking the ball away, that on another day they might have had 2 yellow cards. They did get a little bit of a nick on it, but I just feel, from what we've seen, in general play, I don't think they're going to score too many goals, but I think from set pieces they can earn the free kick, they can earn the corner kick, and that's where I think will have their most threat.
Yeah, certainly a height advantage there. I mean, I don't have the figures in front of me, but just with the naked eye, they don't look to have a player under 6'1" out there, Mali. They're a big team, aren't they?
I think so. I think when you saw them lining up, they had players who towered over 1 or 2 of the the Black Stars, and you just feel that that's one of the areas, and I'm sure the coaches, you know, they'll have watched, they know the strengths of the side. I think Adnan Grant's just a little bit disappointed with the referee. He feels that maybe his team haven't got the free kicks they deserve, and maybe one or two which has gone against them that Mali didn't deserve.
Never gives much away, does he, Adnan Grant? In fact, one of the few times I've seen him smile was when the Ghanaian players were entering the stadium. I think he was enjoying the exhibition, wasn't he? Looks to have a great rapport with the squad, though. That was interesting to see.
Well, you know, you have to do that as a coach, and especially if you're a foreign coach. You've really got to get with them, and you're very much a part of them. And they certainly give you respect, that's for sure, because Adnan Grant deserves respect because he has had such an amazing career.
Alain Giresse as well, what a player he was in the midfield of that terrific French team from the early to mid-80s that reached the World Cup semi-final in 82 and 86, and in between that won that incredible Euro in which Michel Platini scored 9 goals in 1984 to lift the trophy in Paris, beating Spain in the final. Giresse very much part of that midfield. He's only 5'4" tall, but he was a real part of the engine room of that French team.
That boy Messi's not a big guy, is he?
Exactly, yeah. Maradona wasn't too tall either, was he? And forward the throw. Well, it's flown by this first half. It's been a really good watch, particularly Christian Atsu on this near side.
You hate to bring it up, but you do feel that the pitch has maybe played a part in this. You know, I think that these two teams, certainly Ghana, are very slick. They move the ball about very quickly. The players who want to run with it, dribble it. And Sako can do that for Mali. But I think the surface might just stop them doing it just at will.
There's Andre Ayew. Jean. Down by Partey. Atsu. Yeah, the surface probably hasn't done Ghana any favours given the quality of football they can produce, but if they do win this group and go through to the quarter-finals, they will play every match inside this stadium until they get to the semi-finals.
Well, at least they'll know every bump, every twist, every turn. And I just feel they played reasonably well without it being as slick as probably the coach would have wanted. And I think overall, defensively, we haven't seen the keeper really tested apart from set pieces. The middle of the park are, you know, full of energy. They've got a bit of imagination. They certainly can pass the ball about. They've found space, and up front, there's no doubt they are a threat.
Ghana have it back again with Jean from Gordon Ayew. Partey out to Achimpong. The way the tournament is going at the moment, potentially Ghana could win the group and find themselves facing their great rivals. The side that beat them in the final 2 years ago, Ivory Coast. That is a possibility. What a quarter-final that would be.
Well, we saw both sides of the Ivory Coast yesterday, didn't we? We saw them with a shaky kind of a start, not convincing at all. And then I felt the second half, I just thought they stepped up a gear. I think the coach had a word with them at half-time, put a little bit of urgency into them, and I thought they looked a very effective side. And I think that there's teams grow in the competition. They start off a bit slow, but they seem to grow into it. And I think Ivory Coast could be one of them.
Koulibaly. Amaury Traore. They dug in here, Mali. We were worried for them when Ghana did take the lead that may potentially cave in. They certainly haven't done that. That was Umar Sissoko, who's actually the cousin of former Liverpool midfielder Mohamed Sissoko. Played for Liverpool under Rafa Benitez. It's Bakary Sako. Just held up by Affle. Waiting for the run of Yatabare. Still going Sako, but ran into too many white shirts, and Atsu can bring it away for Ghana.
Yeah, good defending from the fullback and the covering player. Terrific ball to Sako. And you just believe that if Mali are going to get anything in a general play, it's going to come down this left-hand side.
Koulibaly. Foul by Yatabare.
Yeah, strong defending, but it's the way they're covering for each other which makes them so effective. Good picture of concentration from the referee.
Certainly been in control of this game, Ghana. It's his goal that separates the sides. No African player has scored more goals in World Cup finals matches than Asamoah Gyan's 6 goals in 3 separate tournaments for Asamoah Gyan. Ghana, the only African nation to ever progress past the group stage more than once. How close did they come to becoming the first African nation to reach the semi-finals in 2010 when they lost that infamous match on penalties to Uruguay? Sila. Henri Traoré. Yatabare. Sako. Not the best ball there.
Poor cross, decent build-up. And as we approach half-time, you've got to look at the game, and it's been okay. I think the pitches, the playing surface has had a definite effect on the game. Ghana have looked the strongest. He really should have scored another goal, but they played very well, very organised, very busy in the middle of the park. They've got players up front who can create. Here's one of them.
Is Atsu, who's still going. It suddenly opened up for the shot, but Henri Traoré blocked it well, and he actually celebrated as he made that block, Traoré. It shows what a difficult first half he's had against Atsu.
But I think that's the way Mali are set up. I think they're very organised, they work very hard, they're hard to break down, and they'll be disappointed with the goal, albeit a good goal, but they were just a little bit short in marking, and maybe could have done better. But overall, I think it's a fair reflection of the play. Maybe Mali will be pleased they're only getting 1-0 down. And I think the second half will be very interesting. I think the next goal will be absolutely crucial. You just think that if Mali get it, they've maybe got a chance of because of their organisation to keep it at that. But you just think if Ghana get it, well, they could maybe run in 1 or 2 more.
Sambu Yatabare. Just a minute to be added on at the end of this first half. I was going to say, there hasn't been too many stoppages. It's really flowed the game.
Well, there's just been one stoppage for an injury, but other than that, it's been free-flowing, maybe 1 or 2 incidents, but that was the last break. He's a strong little man, isn't he? And the covering player did ever so well to get across, but I think that had been on his left foot, it might have been a different result.
Shame the replay cut off too soon. You just see him clench his fists as though he scored a goal. Henri Traoré.
Well, you tell the players, especially defenders, love defending. And obviously, that's something that he enjoys doing.
Plays for Ram in France. Henri Traoré. Winning just his 9th cap though today for Mali. It's first Africa Cup of Nations. Well, it's flown by, and there is the half-time whistle. Asamoah Gyan's 49th goal in the shirt of Ghana, separating these two sides, and puts the Black Stars within 45 minutes of a place in the quarter-finals, along with Senegal, the only other team who have made it through so far. It has been a dominant display in the first half from Ghana, and this thumping header from Asamoah Gyan is the difference. Half-time score then here in Stade des Ports Gentil. It is Ghana 1, Mali 0.
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of the Australian Open. Tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1. January sale is now on. With an amazing In this life, you've got to make every second count. Here we go. Reinvent yourself. Make new friends. Maybe not. Plan your escape. Meet a girl. Fall in love. Well, what are you waiting for? Renault Capture. Now available with 0% APR representative from £159 per month.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The William Hill app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
Welcome back then. First half statistics, no surprise to see Ghana in front in the possession stakes. It was a dominant performance. The only surprise perhaps that Mali won 2 corners to Ghana's 1. Just the 1 shot on goal from Mali, 5 from Ghana. But the stat that matters most is that they lead Mali by a goal to 0. That was the first chance of the game really, Brian, the header from Andre Ayew, and then John Boy just couldn't get the touch.
Well, he should have done slightly better. He didn't realise he had so much time and space. I'm not saying head it properly and it's no problem, but he actually could have brought the ball down his chest, turned to his right, and he was on for a strike finish. So that was their first real chance, and just highlighted that they could be dangerous from crosses. And
Kasu switching this across to Asamoah Gyan. His header finding its way to Christian Atsu, who's given Amari Traore a torrid time in this first half. Lovely skill. The nutmegs that time on Traore, and then real confusion between Andre Ayew and Asamoah Gyan. One way or another, that should have been 1-0.
Well, that was a huge chance, but the little man did so well. Went at him. Look at the way he picks out the pass, and I don't know how they missed that. It was like a talking. Certainly that would have helped the situation, but it was a simple tap in, a spin and a turn, and it should have been a goal.
Having taken it off the foot of Asamoah Gyan, he really has to hit the target. Discussion ensued after that, but Asamoah Gyan would have his moment.
I think that was a fantastic take and a fantastic cross. Just simply an outstanding goal. You know, the set piece was okay. It was a drill ball into him. He had a little bit of work to do with the first touch. Here we see it, 45 yards. It's come a long way. Look at that touch, take. 3 touches, 4, just a cross. Marking's not great, but a terrific run. Found the space. Special header. Certainly deserved that goal.
That's a proper header, that one, isn't it? And it's a good ball from Jordan Ayew. You could see it from that angle there, just how much the ball was bobbling as he delivered the ball in.
No, it was brilliant. Really, really classy goal, and this, of course, was extra special. She'd get extra points for that, shouldn't you?
Synchronised celebrating. It's a sport in its own right, isn't it? Jordan Ayew continuing his lively first half, whipping that ball across, and it was more awkward than it initially looked as though it would be for Umar Sissoko.
Yeah, you encourage players to get the ball into that area. You're asking questions of goalkeepers and defenders. You know, do they play the ball away? Here's a thought here. Do I clear it? Not sure. Keeper has to react at the last minute. Plenty of those, and especially we've spoken about the pitch. it's not fantastic, and that could really help if the ball came in on a regular service.
So Ghana certainly worth their lead at half-time. It's Ghana 1, Mali 0.
Alpine Skiing World Cup from Kitzbühel. Tomorrow, live on Eurosport 2.
With a young family, money was tight. Panorama's low-cost leasing options means driving a new car could be easily affordable.
Leasing meant I got a brand new car and I get to keep hold of my cash.
The whole process was simple and delivery was quick.
With the money we've saved, we could have a holiday as well as a new car.
Change your car, improve your life with amazing deals on versatile crossovers like this Nissan Qashqai.
At GoDaddy, our goal is to make you look amazing online. Let's chat in football terms. This is the net! The goal for every team. We know you have goals, like getting your idea or business noticed. With GoDaddy's website builder, you can easily create an amazing mobile-friendly, gets-you-noticed website. We call that a website builder goal! Visit godaddy.co.uk to kickstart your online presence with domains, website and email all in one place.
Paying for other people's bad driving.
That's £53, please.
There's no excuse for that.
You enjoyed the race.
At Aviva, safer drivers could save an average of £170 on our car insurance. Download the Aviva Drive app to see if you could save.
We've been thinking about pennies. About how important they are to children. Helping us first understand the value of money. Then we thought, in a time when the next generation may not even use pennies, isn't it up to us to help educate them for their financial future? And we thought, yes, it is. So we did. We are what we do. NatWest.
Top up your meter from home with the smart pay-as-you-go app from OVO Energy. Smooth. Switch now at ovoenergy.com.
WeBuyAnyCar.com could be bonkers. They want me to say on telly that if you put up with the hassle of selling your car privately, you could get more money for it. But if you sell with WeBuy, you get to save time and avoid the hassle. Actually, they're not bonkers.
It makes a lot of sense. Value your time? Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com, the UK's favourite car buying service.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The William Hill app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
The Africa Cup of Nations on Eurosport is presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
Welcome back to Stade de Port de Gentil, where Ghana lead Mali by a goal to nil at half-time, thanks to Azerbaijan's 21st minute strike. Well, it's the Masters semi-finals tonight on Eurosport 2 and Eurosport Player. 6:45 is the time to join us for Joe Perry against Barry Hawkins. And also at 6:45 tonight on Eurosport 1 and Eurosport Player exclusively, it is 7-time winners Egypt against Uganda, back in the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time since 1978. A crucial game really for Egypt, given the points they dropped in their opening draw with Mali. So we're just moments away from the second half. It's Ghana against Mali coming up very shortly.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Eagle 1. We have a problem.
Don't panic. I'll see what the internet says. Look, £10 in free bets every week when you bet £25 on football multiples. Yes, let's have a piece of the action.
We're breaking up!
I tell you what, I rate our chances.
For the love of the game, Betway.com.
Welcome back then. Awaiting the two sides for the second half. Ghana leading Mali 1-0, which would be just the job for Ghana. Another 3 points and they would be through ahead of that match against Egypt in their final group game, which would be a repeat, remember, of the 2010 final. Now the Eagle, the mascot of Mali, who are known as the Eagles. A nation that has done so well in this competition. Remember, they've 9 previous appearances in the Africa Cup of Nations and they have reached the semi-finals on 6 of them. Absolutely incredible. The first time they ever qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations was back in 1972 and they went all the way to the final. It really was a remarkable performance. This is now their 6th successive Africa Cup of Nations and the 8th time in the last 9 that they've qualified, having qualified just twice before the 2002 tournament. World Cup qualification though, and perhaps going all the way and lifting this trophy. The ambitions of Mali probably not strong enough this time around to go all the way. Ghana most certainly are, and we've certainly seen evidence of that. Brian Hamilton in the first half.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed watching them. I do think they're very well organised. You can see both teams have been very well coached. That you know, the discipline about the back, the way they shuttle the ball about, the way they try to bring the ball through the middle of the park, and that's when you need that little bit of invention, imagination up front. And Ghana have that just a little bit more than Mali. But when I've watched Mali before and read how they've done, it's basically about their organisation. They definitely have got a little bit of talent. I think they've got a bit of height from set pieces. You can see them being a threat, but it's that organisation, great determination and hard to beat attitude, and certainly it's carried them through. I love the supporters, aren't they fantastic? I mean, they really do bring that colour and to the tournament.
For every team as well. It's not just 1 or 2 teams, is it? It's every team.
Well, they join in. They make it a festival of football, and it's a festival of colour as well, which is terrific.
Well, here is Basuma, who made such a good impact against Egypt. Just 20 years of age, he plays for Lille in France. He only broke into the Lille first team this season. Resisted the temptation to start him, Alain Giresse, but he is coming on for Sambu Yatabare. And this is a talented player. Could cause 1 or 2 problems for Ghana. Who was actually born in the Ivory Coast. He's a Mali international and on for his 9th cap now, Basuma. He actually played in the African Nations Championships last year, the tournament for home-based players who play in the domestic leagues. How Mali reached the final of that competition, scoring the winner against Ivory Coast in the semi-final. And this is the big stage to perform. And Basuma pulled this around for Mali. A lot of pressure though on young shoulders. Arrejo, the initial header, but Mate heads it away. There's Basuma. Chiampong with the foot in. Let's get it out for a throw for Mali.
Yes, Mali really need to start off very quickly here. They need to start off with a bit of confidence because they were slightly dominated in that first half. And I think the important part is now to start the second half with pace and get about Ghana. Don't let them pass and play. Don't let them get the ball up easily to the front players. And if they can do that, I think they'll definitely, maybe get that free kick, which I think is so important to them. Corner kick, which can be a threat. Maybe get that all-important goal if you bring them back into the encounter.
Koulibaly. He's trying to pick out Marega. It's an up and under. DA wins the header. Now Marega towards Basuma. Ghana come away with it with Partey. Now Jean. Wants to cross in Asamoah Jean. Jordan Ayew beaten to it though by Koulibaly, who's gone down holding his head. And now here's Basuma. Nice skill by Basuma. Back by Yatabare. It wasn't the best ball though. Every time there's a challenge, Brian, there's a giant puff of dirt comes up.
Yeah, I think it's so dry and obviously a very new pitch, playing surface, and it's not bedded in as it should do. I think it's the dryness which is making it so difficult, because you can almost see where the grass has been laid.
Brave move though by Alan Giresse. He's thrown Basuma in right on half time. In the full 45 minutes to try and make a difference here for Mali. Problem here though for Salif Koulibaly. One of the experienced campaigners in this side, his third Africa Cup of Nations, the 28-year-olds.
I'm not sure actually what his problem is. It looks as if it might be... Did he get a knock in the head? Is that what he was asking the trainer about that he couldn't see? Or I can't remember the incident, but I think they need him to play.
Well, if you think it's a tall order for Mali to turn this around against Ghana, they like a comeback. They produced one of the greatest ever comebacks in world football in the opening game of the 2010 Africa Cup of Nations. They were 4-0 down to the host Angola with just 11 minutes to go and ended up drawing that one 4-4. 2 goals for Frederick Kanouté, 2 for Mustafa Yatabare, who's playing here for Mali.
Yeah, you can see Jordan Ayew is just, his elbows just caught Koulibaly, and that was the problem, so I don't think there's going to be any worries about him continuing.
Away by Koulibaly. Basuma beaten to it. Here's Jean. Wakaso.
You sense that Mali are just not allowing them to settle on the ball and bring the ball out just the way they were able to in the first half. So the coaches obviously had words with them.
Sako going for the early delivery this time, and Marega's header gathered by Razak, but maybe that's the key, Brian, get the ball in early.
Well, I think they've got to get the ball in for sure, and they've got to get the ball wide, but that was a great cross. Morgan was a little bit suspect. It was on the full back. He should have done better. Just if he can't win it, certainly make sure he doesn't. But Mali, that's arguably their best chance.
Ghana throw.
But only 5 minutes is gone in the second half, but you can sense that urgency about Mali. They know they're 1 goal down, they've got to get something out of the game, they've got to get back into it, and they're going to really make the Black Stars of Ghana really work for every cross, every service they get up.
Love the cushion of a second goal, Ghana. Naffle. They did well to keep it in play, but it had gone out. It's a throw for Mali. Has that cross?
Yeah, found his cross. Let the full back get dragged in, and the ball was set on top. It was a good header, actually. I mean, there wasn't much more he could have done. He tried to play the ball back across the goal. You could argue and say just a little bit towards the far post. Coach not best pleased, and I can understand that.
Second job this at international level. He had 4 years in charge of his home country Israel between 2002 and 2006. With Chelsea, of course, to the 2008 Champions League final, spells with West Ham, Portsmouth. Ndiaye. Koulibaly. Throw for Mali. Well, he'll be happier with the start his side have made to the second half, Alain Giresse.
I think he's done well. He's obviously spoken with him at half-time, there's no doubt about it. There's an urgency about him that was missing, just a little bit missing in the first half. And certainly I feel that let Ghana pass and play the way they did, they've got forward players who can hurt them.
Koulibaly. Well, to dig out across from there, the header down by Sacco. Oh, Marega fires it high and wide. But Mali, for the first time in the game, are beginning to cause Ghana problems defensively.
Well, you spoke about it, getting the crosses in. Was that the message? There we had one, there we had two chances. And that's the second opportunity in about the last 2 minutes. Yeah, he should have done better. A little bit open with his foot, his ankle wasn't tight enough, and at least make the keeper work. Those guys aren't best pleased.
Jean with the header. Well, the first half really was all too comfortable for Ghana. They worthy of their one-goal leads. Now Mali are beginning to ruffle them, and that's a corner.
Well, what they do is they make mistakes just like that, and all of a sudden now, and we spoke about it at half-time and through it, oh, they've taken a quick one.
Marega in there. Here's Bissouma. Chance to cross again in towards Yatabare, but it's put behind by Amate.
Yeah, and you can see the crowd behind the goal. They're getting behind their team. They feel as if they're in with a chance. There's one or two exciting things happening in that goal mouth, and now Ghana have got a problem. They've got to defend a corner kick.
Crystal Palace's Bakary Sacco will deliver. And it goes, all the header on. They're appealing for handball. And Koulibaly's header. It's just another corner though.
Well, it was drilled in. And that's maybe a ploy as well, but normally when they hang it up, they've got that advantage of height, and the one or two people who want to attack the ball.
Attacking their bank of supporters now, Mali, and it seems to have made a difference. In it goes again from Sacco. Header away by Partey. Slipped into the penalty area, they haven't cleared it! And it's just past the post from Salif Koulibaly, the central defender who was still up there.
Did well, you know. I thought he was going to just head it. He didn't. He took 1-2 touches at it. Good challenge. Just put him off, but there's no doubt about it. Mali have really come out the second half with a different approach and looked the better side.
Well, there's the handball appeal against Jordan Ayew, but that would have been extremely harsh. His arm was in front of his body, and he didn't know an awful lot about it.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You can ask for it. But I just think it wasn't a deliberate handball. I think it was a ball to hand, and that's not what the rule was for. Tough call for the referee, but I think he got it right.
Mehdi Abid Sheref of Algeria, the man in the middle, who's had a good game actually, although it hasn't been too difficult a game to referee. That was his first major call.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit physical, and maybe another day where he's very whistle happy. That's the only thing I've got against him, that when there's any challenge at all, he just blows up. And I'm not sure you're going to go through a game without people coming together as such.
It's a respite though for Ghana. Substitution of Bissouma coming on certainly seems to have lifted Mali.
I think it's a combination. I think there's no doubt about it. The coach has definitely had words, and they've come out with a different approach, and I think they're defending higher up. They're not allowing Ghana to have the ball to pass and play and just come out at will. They're really working them and worrying them, and he's the coach with the problems at the moment.
How difficult now is it for Avram Grant to lift Ghana, given it was so comfortable in the first half, and they probably weren't expecting what Mali have produced in the last 10 minutes?
Well, this is what football's all about, and the coach can do so much, but then you start asking questions and hoping that your experienced players are going to be able to do something special, or the young players will do it with a little bit of innocence and just play. And at this minute in time, they've got to get the troops together. Jerez has done a terrific job at half-time, and his team are playing much better. 2 or 3 chances, maybe should have scored a goal.
Jordan taken away there by Koulibaly, who had that last chance for Mali, and he's storming forward, the centre-back. Yatabare looking for Marega, but he's just overplayed it, and it's a goal kick for Ghana. But we certainly have a match on our hands now.
Yeah, did very well, the big central defender coming out with the ball. Not enough, a lot of space in front of him, but he made it happen. Coach is having a word. Bit animated, bit annoyed.
Just what you were talking about though, Brian, getting one of his experienced players, Andre Ayew, over to deliver a message.
Well, the coach can only do so much. Once they cross the line, that's all part of coaching, I believe. You've got to work with your players, and there's so much you can do, and you hope that part of the training program is that if changes happen or you're under the cosh a little bit, that you've established players who can change it out there.
Amore Traore. Towards Yatabare.
But they certainly are knocking the ball about, spraying it about the pitch, lots of space.
Koulibaly.
Great tackle.
Yeah, well won by Andre Ayew. And Wakaso.
That's the problem. Yeah, just giving the ball away too cheaply at the moment.
Weren't seeing that in the first half.
They were having so much time and space on the ball, and the second half was a little bit different.
It's a foul by Amore Traore. Kick for Ghana. He's always in the referee's ear, isn't he, Mubrat Wakaso? He's one of those players.
Just a trailing leg, left one behind for him. But I think the referee in a roundabout way has done a good job. Has he produced any yellow cards at all? There's been plenty of times when another day another referee would have shown the yellow card, but he has allowed the play to flow and get on with it. It's a man's game. There will be challenges. There will be coming together. Get on with it. And I think that's the approach.
That's Mastas Amoajana out for a goal kick. Generally, it's been the case. There's not been too many cards waved around in any of the matches that I've seen here in Gabon.
Well, maybe that's part of the plan by the referees. You know, they always have meetings and they talk about it and they look at players. I think they have a good awareness of where the players who maybe take a dive or hold on, or I think it's an advanced program for referees now, and I think this guy is all right. He hasn't got it all right, but certainly he's done reasonably well, and he's kept the game certainly alive. Oops.
On a throw. Spirited start to the second half as yet. Not bearing any fruit for Mali, who are still yet to score in this tournament after a goalless draw with Egypt in their opener. Chiampong's throw. Out by Undie into Bissouma. Wage. Sissoko clears towards Marega.
Yeah, but the yellow shirts are picking up a lot of the second passes. You know, anything that's knocked down in the first half, that wasn't the case. There's definitely an urgency about them. There's a brightness about them.
Well played by Bissouma.
Which I think is making it harder for Ghana.
He's certainly got quality, Bissouma. And that's a lovely ball by Bissouma. Amore Traore. Now Sako. It's a poor delivery from a tight position, and Partey should get it away for Ghana.
I thought they missed the cross and missed the chance just before that. Here again, Ghana giving the ball away, inviting problems.
Yatabare comes up with it. Here's Koulibaly, the right back. Again, they're looking for the ball in early. Marega was certainly calling for that. Here's Bissouma. Certainly added a bit of quality and a bit of craft now to the Mali attack, Bissouma.
Well, he's a young player, isn't he? And he's playing with that innocence that, you know, he's nothing to lose. He's just out there to make a show. He's going to enjoy it all. And he's brought that into the team as well. He does look a threat.
Hour gone. Ghana 1, Mali 0. A win, remember, takes Ghana into the quarterfinals. Indeed, Mali with it all to do. Bissouma with the delivery, which chipped in, and the header is just over by Koulibaly. In fact, it stayed in play.
Done well about the keeper. Done well, the keeper.
It's a different game now, though, Brian.
I think it is, very much so. And I don't think coaches get enough credit sometimes. I do think that duress has definitely had an influence. He's made a decision to make a change. The player coming on has been very good. Just looking to see that one down for corner kick. Is the keeper going to get it? I think he just kept it in play. But you can see the threat, can't you? You know, the ball's played in that area. The player's Koulibaly, number one. He wants to go and win that ball every time. And I always feel that that's part of the plan. You know, don't give defenders an easy ride because they want to have time and space. They don't want the cross put in where they've got to make decisions. Goalkeeper's the same, and I think this man has changed it a little bit. Well done.
Also Doumbia. So he's going to be the next change for Mali. A reminder of the tennis for you from midnight tonight, the Australian Open. On Eurosport and Eurosport player Andy Murray, and actually it's Misha Zverev from 3 a.m. on Eurosport 1. Dan Evans in action too, as two Brits go for a place in the men's quarter-final. Here's Achiampong. Crossing towards Samoa Jean. Got past Koulibaly, but not Wage. Oh, he sliced it into touch though. It's a throw for Ghana.
Yeah, that's a little bit of joy for Ghana. They'll be pleased with that. A little bit of skill, early crossing, good covering.
Now the change. Also Doumbia of Rostov in Russia. Another who was born in the Ivory Coast, replaces Mustafa Yatabari. Two goals in the qualifying tournament for the Africa Cup of Nations for Doumbia. Goals in the 3-0 win against South Sudan and the 5-2 win against Benin. Samoa Jean has committed the foul. Koulibaly. Good pressure from Andre Ayew. Koulibaly brings it away though. Fullback playing his 4th Africa Cup of Nations. There's Wage. Now Salif Koulibaly. Sila. Usman Koulibaly. Ndiaye. Now Bissouma. He was caught by Wakaso. Samoa Jean just tried to slide it through to Jordan Ayew, but it was cut out by Yakuba Sila. Now a counter could be on here for Mali. Amore Traore gets the cross in, looking for Marega. Well covered though by Harrison Affle.
But you made the call early on in the second half about the crosses. There's definitely more of them coming in. They're putting them in from distance, they're putting them in from the byline. These guys have really got there's a great belief in their team now. And you just feel that they keep getting that service in. There might be a mistake, there might be a chance. They've had 2 or 3 chances so far, but one of them might be put away.
Well, looking at the fans, you'd think it was Mali who were winning. It's the Ghanaian supporters who are glum and looking concerned. Another Mali corner. Oh, Marega was there, and the header over the top from Ndiaye. It's another chance for Mali.
That's in a decent area. Yeah, he did well to get the header.
Difficult one to try and guide on target for Ndiaye.
Yeah, it was always going to be hard for him. He was almost behind the ball.
Inside the last 25 minutes, Ghana won, Mali nil. Just the 1 goal, but it's been a terrific match. Ghana worth the lead at half-time, but Mali, Brian, have certainly been the better team second half.
No doubt about it. They playing with more threat, playing with more purpose, playing with more urgency, and they've definitely got the Black Stars of Ghana just worried a little bit, that's for sure.
More work to do here for John Boy, who gets it away. Now Wakaso. launches that forward. There was a high boot though, just after he launched it, so it's a free kick for Ghana.
It's great on the nickname, isn't it? The Eagles, is it, Molly?
Yeah, the Eagles against the Black Stars.
So we can safely say the Eagles are soaring at the moment.
Not quite had lift-off in terms of a goal, but certainly in terms of performance, it's the best spell I've seen from Mali so far in the competition. It was tight against Egypt. Do generally perform in this competition. Through by Atsu, but well cut out by Amari Traore.
He's been very quiet this half, and he's just a good service, Atsu, and I think it's down to the way that Mali are playing. I think they've stopped that service to the front players of Ghana.
It's a free kick for Ghana now. It's a poor challenge that from Yakuba Sila. Remember, only 3 times have Mali exited at the group stage of this competition. The most unfortunate had to be 2 years ago when they were level on points, goals, goal difference, head-to-head with Guinea, and they actually exited the competition through the drawing of lots without losing a game. That's got to be tough to take, isn't it?
That is. You'd always throw a dart, I think, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It just seems a really poor way, doesn't it, to decide who goes through and who doesn't. I mean, people complain about penalties, at least it's football.
I think so.
By India.
I still think that it's a little bit American, where rather than penalty kicks, where they've got a little bit more to do, where they've got to run with the ball a certain distance or whatever. I think
like in ice hockey.
I think so. Yeah. I think it just adds that bit of skill as well as mystique to the whole competition.
Got the ball there, Sela, with a challenge on Jordan Ayew. Andre Ayew towards Asamoah Gyan. There's Partey. Run into trouble there. And it's clipped forward by the substitute Doumbia. Zamate though. Another ball come onto the field here.
I think the ball boy was too enthusiastic. He was going to make sure there's no delay in the play. This guy has changed it, hasn't he? He's come on with a little bit of flair, a little bit of something about him.
Here's Doumbia. Koulibaly, back to Sacco. Lifts the cross in, Sacco. Doumbia was rising. Oh, the first time shot is just over the bar. Great effort from Amari Traore, the left back.
What a technique, what a skill. Long way when the ball comes down. He's going to be, well, almost pressed, but beautiful contact. Really deserved the goal.
Just over and just wide in the end from Amari Traore. Hasn't scored in the jersey of Mali. What a way to start that would have been. He's grown into the game after a difficult first half against a rampant Christian Atsu.
Yeah, Atsu's been so quiet, and again, we must say that the service to him hasn't been there. But all credit to Mali, they've really taken this game. Oh, chance.
Moussa Doumbia, by the way, who's come on for Mali, 5 for 8, so there is somebody now under 6 foot in the Malian team. But like Basuma, looks to have a bit of quality going forward. He's only 22, Doumbia. That's certainly late.
Yeah, it was late. I think he had lost the ball, to be honest with you. I think it was one of those where he was smart. He knew there was contact and he couldn't get the ball. He doesn't look a happy camper, the coach, does he?
Well, he knows this is a great chance. And of course, at the back of his mind, Brian, will be the fact that Ghana's last match is Egypt. That's never easy in this tournament. Headed by Koulibaly. He would love to get qualification wrapped up before they face the Egyptians.
I think so. I mean, to be honest with you, his first half performance wasn't too bad. I thought there was good purpose about the play. They were fairly well organised. They were comfortable coming out with the ball. They had players up front who were putting in crosses and taking defenders on.
Picasso.
Now that's ambitious.
It's a terrible effort, isn't it? The man from Panathinaikos. It's a decent scoring record actually from that deep lying midfield role. 9 goals in 30 appearances for Ghana. He actually scored in the semi-final 2 years ago against Equatorial Guinea. Ghana knocked out the hosts. Traore towards Doumbia. Now Doumbia after this one. Taking on Affle. That'll be a goal kick.
That was good, you know, a lot of little touches and movement. Just the old 1-2 let him down at the end. I think the defender was pleased that was the case. He didn't have anything to do.
It's the winger's nightmare, that, isn't it? Your running foot touches the ball just as you're about to swing the cross in.
Absolutely.
Still not overly worked from Razak, despite the improvement from Mali since half-time. Koulibaly's header. The Rangers touch letting him down, and it's lumped forward towards Jordan Ayew.
Is that a technical throw?
I think it is, yeah. It's Koulibaly. It's another coaching manager's right.
They have seriously played well in the second half, Mali. I just think that, you know, they've been purpose about their play. Oops, I thought that was through. But again, they've really tested Ghana. They've put them under all kinds of pressure, and they haven't really allowed them to do this, pass the ball out and play.
There's Atsu. They really haven't played yet second half, Ghana. Contrasting performances from both teams, either side of half-time. Affle. Now Atsu. The pressure from Doumbia.
That's what they've done better. They've put Ghana under all kinds of pressure. Every part of the park where they get the ball, there's yellow shirt closing them down, not giving them time in any shape or form, and then winning the second balls.
Ghana have a man down. It's Azerbaijan, I think. Lost the boot.
Just the way it landed, there was
nothing Koulibaly could do about that.
Absolutely nothing. Just come down on the heel, and that happens. But he's a campaigner, an old experienced campaigner. He knows how to slow the game down. He knows his team's getting a little bit of a run around at the minute. It's not easy for them, so he's going to take everything and slow it down at every opportunity. But that's good play. And again, we spoke about it yesterday. I think the competition's been played with a great spirit. You know, they've been very competitive, but they've got on with the game.
Koulibaly. Oh, goodness me. Sissoko got away with that big time.
Tell you, man, back at home. They call that a slide rule pass.
He saw the gap and went for it.
Yeah, he was forced it there, wasn't he? Again, you know, passing the ball back to the keeper like that, I do think that it's part of the game now, and keepers have to be very comfortable with the ball coming to them at pace, and also when they have to take a first touch or play first time. But I think when you get a surface a little bit dry like this, a little bit bubbly, you're running the risk there might be a problem.
It's Doumbia. Different sort of opponent now for Affle to face, with Doumbia coming on the left and Sacco switching to the right. Here's Koulibaly. And here is Sacco. Held up by Atiampong and Andre Ayew. Sacco again. Away from Ayew. Clips the cross in and into the hands of Razak.
He's had a quiet second half, and although Mali have had a lot of the ball, he's been quiet. That was quite clever, just overhit the cross. But he does have that body strength, and he can get a little bit of space. He can put in good crosses.
Free kick Ghana. Again, Azerbaijan using all that experience to draw the foul from Molawage.
He hasn't done an awful lot wrong. You just got to keep your hands off the player. It's very difficult, I know, because he's backing into him. He's a smart player to back into him, but you've got to keep your hands down. You're giving the referee an opportunity to give the free kick.
31 now, Jean made his international debut for Ghana, aged just 17. A free kick for Ghana. Well, it's been overhit, just too far ahead of John Boy, who was almost on the end of that from Ayew.
I thought Mali just wanted a little bit of sleep, but it was a training ground free kick. Boy just goes round the back, hoping nobody comes with him, and that's what happened. And you can see the Mali defenders, other players, somebody had him nailed, should have stayed with him, didn't do it. You've just got to pin players, you've got to put numbers to numbers and say, don't let him run off you like that.
Minus 6:45 underway on Eurosport 1. Egypt against Uganda. His second match in Group D, and indeed inside this stadium. 7-time winners Egypt, looking for their first win, and in fact their first goal of this competition. Here's Bissouma. Goes for goal. Well, he's got ability, but that was a rather poor effort from Yves Bissouma.
Well, he knows what he did wrong, and he has give us a thrill in the second half. He's come on, he's got on the ball, he's made people play, but he knows himself. Not one of his better strikes and goal.
Well, what a year 2016 was for him. Made his senior debut in the Lille first team, and not soon after made his international debut for Ghana. And now at the start of 2017 is playing in the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time. It's amazing how it all snowballs, isn't it? Challenge on Atsu. False throw.
You just think Mali are maybe going to run out of time. I know it can only take a second to score a goal, but you just think they've had so much to play in the second half. They've put in those crosses, they've put bodies into the box, they've made life so difficult for Ghana, but
Moussa Marega has run his race, and now Khalifa Koulibaly will come on, a striker replaced for Ghent in Belgium, playing in his first Africa Cup of Nations. Came through the youth ranks at Paris Saint-Germain, but never made a first team appearance. 86 for PSG's B team in the lower divisions in France. There's all three changes made now for Alain Giresse with 11 minutes plus stoppages to go. Clearly the concern for the French coach of Mali is their lack of goals, still yet to score in the competition. That's despite their territorial advantage second half here. Sila. Traore into Bissouma. By John Boy. Ndiaye. Here's Doumbia. Now Emery Traore. It's a deep delivery in towards the substitute. It heads it back across, and it's cleared away by Almaty. But what an introduction that nearly was for Khalifa Koulibaly.
Well, the coach will be so annoyed, really annoyed, because the cross came in, it was very deep. The sub has done terrifically well to get the cross in, but no yellow shirt getting in the box.
Now Bissouma. Doumbia's shot is blocked away. Well, they've certainly deserved something out of this second half, Mali. Sila. Now Sako. Traore. Cuts it and goes for goal. Partey in the way. Razak punches it away under pressure from Koulibaly. The head down from Bissouma. And now anywhere will do. Achiampong with the clearance for Ghana. Well, they've done everything but score second half, Mali.
No, I think they've done very well. I really do. I give the coach a lot of credit, but the players also as well. The subs have come on. You're quite right. They've had a massive effect in the game, and they just needed to get one or two yellow shirts into the box, and they've done it ever so well. But well, what a great pass that was. Good take as well. Big and strong. Don't give away free kicks.
Yes, silly foul. There's that chance again.
But watch the middle of the box. 3 players walking, you know, not waiting to think, well, it might happen, he might get there, I'll be there for a tap in. You know, I'd be so cross if I was a coach, and the players, once he shows it to them, it's the thing I always used to say to players, whatever happens during the course of the game, you've got to ask yourself the question, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can see those two.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So there's 3 of them there standing saying, I'm doing nothing.
Dumbia and Basuma, who have both been lively since coming on, as you say, very much on their heels. There was a real lack of anticipation. And Asamoah Gyan now has been booked for taking too long to go off.
It's a strange one. You just think, referee, if he takes a minute to go off, it'll be a minute added on. You can have the effect, and it's getting a bit silly now. We haven't seen this in the tournament so far.
Change is made. Emmanuel Agyemang Badu comes on. Another survivor from both the 2010 and 2015 runners-up spots for Ghana. It's 5th Africa Cup of Nations for Agyemang Badu. This certainly a defensive move by Avram Grant, a midfielder for a striker.
Well, he's under pressure, there's no doubt about it. He's bringing his vast experience into play. He knows his team haven't performed the second half, and not all down to them. You've got to say it's a lot of it's down to the way Mali have attacked the game, and they have been a really good threat. And the thing is, you have quite rightly said, the coach will be disappointed with all their play, all their possession, all the crosses. They haven't got a goal.
Wage, Koulibaly, Sako, and Zatsu. Ghana are 7 minutes away from the quarter-finals. It's always a terrific contest when any of the West African nations meet, and so it's been the case. We've only had 1 goal, Brian, but it's been a fantastic game.
It's been a very interesting game, and when you say a game of 2 halves, because quite rightly it's been that way. I thought the first half Ghana were very good. They looked as if they could score goals, and they were very well organised, were passing the ball out, shuttling the ball about. Second half has been totally different. Mali have been the team who have taken the game to them, have been quick to the ball, pick up second ball in the middle of the park.
Koulibaly did well to win that and recycle it for Mali. Now Sila, too much on it for Koulibaly, and Agyempong gets his head to it. Not really a fullback, Frank Agyempong. He's more of a wide-sided midfield player, but needs must with the injury to Baba Rahman. Does look as though Agyempong will fill in for the remainder of the tournament at left back in the absence of Baba Rahman. There is a big loss. The Schalke fullback, another like Atsu, who's on the books at Chelsea, but already had a look in 15 appearances in their first team. It's Koulibaly. Bundier. Wakaso wins the free kick from Sako.
See that one again. It was almost 62 threes, wasn't it? Didn't see an awful lot in it. There was 1 or 2 little tugs, and I think it came from both players.
Well, if they do lose here, Mali, they're going to have to beat Uganda in their final match. This is presuming that Egypt beat Uganda in their game, and then hope from a big favour for an already qualified Ghana against Egypt. It's presuming Egypt beat Uganda, nothing's ever certain.
No, I think you would have felt that Ghana would have had too much for Mali, but that hasn't proved to be the case at all.
Into the penalty area, Koulibaly's header. Barely seen Ghana as an attacking force in the second half. It's almost like the teams have changed their kits rather than ends.
But I think they've changed their attitude. I do think, and again, I must say, you know, there's been a coming together of minds at half-time, and the Mali players with the coach have decided they've got to get close, they've got to make something happen, because they're getting too much of the ball, they're playing the ball in the different areas for us, difficult areas. They can score goals. They should have been 2-0 up, but that's not the case. Again, I can't see a free kick there. I really can't see it. I think 3 players quite determined going for the ball.
Well, generally the Africa Cup of Nations is a tournament of fine margins, and so it looks like being the case again. Mali's hopes hanging on by a thread if they lose here. Unless, of course, Egypt and Uganda produce a draw. That would be the best result for Mali.
Again, not much in it. Difficult for referees, isn't it? You know, players, you just want to be disciplined and try and stay on their feet if they possibly can.
Atsu's header. He's given the ball straight to Doumbia.
Oops.
Koulibaly. Here's Doumbia again. Away from Atsu. Now Bissouma. Koulibaly, Bissouma. Oh, it's fallen kindly for Bissouma. Away from Atsu. Bissouma. Can he pick out the pass? No, he can't.
But again, only one, possibly two shirts in the box. I think you've got to get more yellow shirts in there. He has been, well, terrific since he's come on. A little bit forced it there, but did everything right. Had a little look up, didn't pick out the yellow shirt that should have been there. But you've got to ask players, when you see that happen, get into the box. It might just fall for you.
Touched in by Sako. Masila. Koulibaly. Time running out for Mali. Here's Bissouma. Must have been tempted to start him, Alain Giresse. He will be so again in the final match against Uganda. Here's Doumbia, who's been lively as well. Here's Doumbia, back from Bissouma. Oh, just looked to flick it through to Koulibaly, and it's been that kind of afternoon, hasn't it, for Mali? Just the final touches.
Yeah, you feel a little bit sorry for them, just entering the last 2 minutes of general play, and the referee, I think, whoops, that was the little bit of a chance. Look, you're looking to see, tried to pick him out. Who was he looking for there? I didn't see anybody, but have a look, it's time to look up, but you're looking at 3 or 4 yellow shirts, and that's all you can see. You know, should have been 10 yards further forward so that they could have a chance of a finish.
That's another example of lack of anticipation in the attacking third for Mali.
Absolutely.
Free Aqua, another midfielder, is about to come on, plays for Torino in Italy.
I think the one thing that I would say is if anybody has watched the game, I'm sure they will, well I know they will, and they analyse the performance, if they stand off Ghana and allow them to play, they're a threat. You get about them and make it difficult for them, they'll lose a lot of their skill and they don't become the same team at all.
Well, that's both the forward players off now from Avram Grant. Aqua, like him, Agyemang Badu is on to bolster the midfield. Jordan Ayew off. It is clearly a case of what we have, we hold for Avram Grant as we approach stoppage time. Strange afternoon for him. He'd have been delighted. I'm sure the half-time team talk was full of that with the opening 45 minutes, but a very different game indeed, second half. I suppose what you can say is so far, Brian, they've held on under immense pressure.
Well, I think so. They've been a little bit forced because of some of the desire and attitude of some of the Mali players not getting in there, but they have been opened up as a defence, and certainly an area of concern for them is a cross.
Here's Doumbia. He's got space for the shot. It's played in. Oh, what a save! Oh, Razak denies the substitute, Khalif Koulibaly, and another chance for Mali goes begging.
Well, he drilled it in. I think it was a shot, but it's a good area, and it was just a nice size for the keeper. It came at him very quickly, of course. He had to do something about it, and it was definitely good playing. You just feel now, I just think it's not going to be their day. They've put bodies in there now. They've got on the finish, and it just hasn't gone their way. But I've got to say, the second half they've been terrific.
That's all he could do, really, wasn't it? Koulibaly help it on, but he has been on the end of 2 really good chances for Mali since coming on. Just 3 minutes to be added on at the end.
Yeah, that was a big chance, wasn't it? You just feel it was drilled into that area. It was good that he was there. That's not bad. That's something the coach will be pleased about. He actually made good contact with it. Unfortunately for him, it just went straight at the goalkeeper at a nice distance, nice height.
Doumbia wins the free kick. I mean, judging just on the second half performances alone, I know certain players are used by coaches as impact players, but surely Bissouma and Doumbia have to start the next game.
Well, they certainly have changed the course of this game when they've come on, and they've been very, very clever with some of the play. I think that if I'm being critical of the referee, I think what he has been, he's been a little bit whistle happy. You know, when players come together, they've gone to ground too easily. He hasn't just always seen that, but this is a big chance now.
Bakary Sakho of Crystal Palace fancies this with what, 90 seconds left. They've added on time. Mali certainly deserve an equaliser, but can Ghana hold on after they dominated the first half? It's been one half each without question, but will it end one goal each? Bakary Sakho over this. Will he go for goal? Plenty in yellow forward. Could well be the last chance for Mali to snatch something from the game. Ghana yet to concede in the tournament. Mali yet to score. Is that about to change at what would be a key moment? It is Sakho. Straight into the wall, fires it back in, and Razak punches it away. Aqua tried to clear. It's not fully away yet though for Ghana. And now Agyemang Badu can charge forward. Doumbia wins it back though for Mali. Sissoko sends it forward. Koulibaly with the header on. More hesitancy at the back just initially. Well, no penalty. They appealed for it behind the goal, but Harrison Apple tangled with Wagu. Brian shakes his hand. You think they may have a case?
Well, I think the referee, because of the way he's been refereeing the game, if there's been any coming together, he's almost given a decision one way or the other, and there was definitely a coming together there.
Mazayu. Oh, here it is again. No, I think that would have been harsh. The first foul's from Wagu across the shoulder there of Apple.
Well, I can see what you're saying, and you're probably right. But I think the way the game has gone today and the way the referee has refereed the game, he's been very quick to whistle when any player has made contact with another player. And on another day, another occasion, he might have just picked something out of that. They're saying he's the man of the match. Well, Mali are disappointed, and quite rightly so. They've had a super second half, but that might have been a penalty kick.
Well, Asamoah Gyan's goal on 21 minutes, ultimately the difference in what was most certainly, to use a cliche, a game of two halves. Ghana worth their lead at half-time. A terrific second-half performance from Mali, but in the end, just didn't have the quality to grab themselves an equaliser. And Ghana can celebrate because they joined Senegal through to the quarter-finals with a game to spare. And that is what they wanted, qualification ahead of facing seven-time winners Egypt in their final group match. And Mali have it all to do. Their final match is against Uganda, but they certainly need results to go their way now if they are to make it through to the knockout stages. Terrific second half from Mali. It didn't bring them the equaliser they deserve though. Beaten here 1-0 by Ghana, and the Black Stars are through to the quarter-finals.
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of the Australian Open. Tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1.
Real people, real hair loss, real stories.
I was really concerned about losing my hair because I'm an actor. How am I going to cope?
The best thing about having a full head of hair again would just have to be not worrying about the back of my head.
I'm proud to say that, yeah, I've used Advan's Hair Studio and it's worked for me.
Like these guys, it's the best thing I've done. Call Advanced Hair Studio now on 0845 600 8899.
This year on Sky Atlantic. Incredible award-winning drama. The biggest stars. In new big exclusively on Sky Atlantic.
There are more than 50 roles in the RAF, full-time and spare time. Find yours. Recruiting now for regulars and reserves. Search RAF recruitment.
All stars, best sausages in town.
Nice. To say anything about parking? We're just finished. Now that's how you park in this town.
Drivers win at Confused.com. #1 for car savings.
My chicken balls and my chow mein.
Yep.
Chow mein.
Yeah.
It's called chow mein. Repeat chow mein for God's sake.
Okay.
I say, ooh, I like my chicken balls and my chow mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein.
And pork balls.
Pork balls.
Tap the app today at hungryhouse.co.uk.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The Winning Wheel app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
I'm not selling my car privately. I'm too busy fighting dragons and rescuing princesses.
Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Vodafone's biggest ever winter sale is now on. Treat yourself to great savings on big brands with 6 months half price on pay monthly bundles, plus up to 50% off pay-as-you-go phones and home broadband connection fees. All on our even bigger and better network. Discover in store or search Vodafone Winter Sale. Vodafone, power to you.
So Ghana through to the quarterfinals. 1-0 victory against Mali. Goals are certainly proving hard to come by in this group. There's been just 2 in the 3 matches so far. Both of them for Ghana. 2 1-0 wins. And the Black Stars are back in the quarterfinals. But Brian, it was so different either side of half-time. In the first half, Ghana taking the lead here through Asamoah Gyan looked like potential winners. In the second half, far from it.
They were by far the best team in the first half. I thought it was a super goal. Lovely take from the crossfield pass, and then a super cross into the box. Terrific header. And that one goal, it was something they deserved. I thought they maybe should have had more than one. In the first half, they were excellent. Mali didn't play badly, but didn't play well. Allowed Ghana to play. But the second half, totally different. Absolutely totally different. And so many crosses come in, so many chances. Keeper did well. It was a good header back across the goal. Maybe could have went a little bit further towards the far post, but still a difficult header. Did reasonably well.
And Marega getting on the end of Bakary Sakho's early ball. They were certainly getting some joy from early deliveries. Koulibaly's deep cross here, header back across. It was missed initially by Yatabare and then fired off target by Marega.
Yeah, this is the way the second half went. Chance after chance, cross after cross. Ghana simply couldn't get the ball. Didn't look like anything they were in the first half. And you just felt the goal was going to come. And the disappointing part for me was that there was crosses put in. We'll probably see them, we might see them, where it was headed down and the players didn't respond to it.
The substitutes though, Doumbia and Basuma, the 2 young players making a great deal of difference. That was a chance for Salif Koulibaly, and that the second half just littered with missed opportunities from Mali.
Yes, they did ever so well. I just felt, and you're quite right, the coach, I think, had a good game the second half. They were a different team. He made good substitutions. When the subs came on, they made a difference. You know, they put crosses in. Here's another shot. Terrific shot. Great technique. Great skill. And if he had scored that goal, that possibly could have been the goal of the competition. Lovely technique.
Wonderful hit from Amaury Traoré, the left-back who's never scored an international goal for Mali. But it looked as though it was going to be an afternoon of narrow margins going the wrong way for Mali. A chance here for Khalifa Koulibaly. Had 2 or 3 great opportunities after he came on, and Razak equal to it.
Well, that was good. It's good skill. I don't think he could have done much more. He maybe could have put it a little bit away from the goalkeeper. I think it was a shot that came in, but that's all right. Put them into that area and you can always get something from it, but it just wasn't their day.
So there's how we stand then. A 5-point lead for Ghana, 2 wins from 2. It means, like Senegal, they are through to the quarterfinals with a match to spare. Egypt and Mali level with a point each, but Egypt have Uganda to play. And a win for either Egypt or Uganda would certainly put them in pole position to qualify along with Ghana. But still plenty of football to be played in Group D. And tonight, 6:45, around about 45 minutes time on Eurosport 1. It is Egypt, the 7-time winners, against Uganda, back in the competition for the first time since 1978, beaten in their opener by Ghana. Egypt held by Mali. But Egypt, Mohamed Salah and co will hope to get up and running against the outsiders from Uganda. So just the 1 goal this afternoon, but a thoroughly entertaining game. A tough one for Mali to take, who played well in the second half. Asamoah Gyan, though, as he so often does, wins it for Ghana. Hope you enjoyed it. From myself, Wayne Boyce, and Brian Hamilton, it's goodbye.
The Africa Cup of Nations on Eurosport has been presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
The Masters, tonight live on Eurosport 2, the home of snooker.
You always dip your chicken ball in my sauce, and that really winds me up.
What's this? I do.
Yeah, you do. You dip your chicken ball in my sauce, and I don't like it.
Love takeaway. Tap the app today at hungryhouse.co.uk.
Hungry House.
The Mercedes-Benz C-Class from £299 per month.
Hi, how can I help?
The adrenaline rush of live sport. You can watch it, or you can get involved in it with the latest choral action. So, are you a spectator, or are you a player? You decide. Coral, get in on the action. When the fun stops, stop.
This year on Sky Atlantic. Incredible award-winning drama. The biggest stars. A new big screen drama every month of the year. World-class storytelling exclusively on Sky Atlantic.
At Bupa, we don't just insure, we care. That's why we provide expert advice from qualified nurses and GPs and specialist support when you need it most. And with access to the latest drugs and treatments, we can help you get back to all the things you've missed sooner. For days like these. For more than just health insurance. For living. Bupa. Call 0800 804 4111.
Tutti in Trentino.
Esatto.
Perfetto.
Good morning, everybody. It's the biggest day in the alpine skiing calendar, and Kitzbühel is wearing its best winter coat. Conditions could not be better for the running of the biggest, toughest World Cup downhill in the world. Fresh snow, barely a breath of wind, and for the first time in a few years, Kitzbühel will be shown in all its winter splendour. The full stride course being used from top to bottom. Conditions could not be better. So it's a day for sports fans all over the world to savour, particularly those of you who love the thrills and spills of high-speed winter sports. And the gliders, look at the gliders go across the Kitzbühel skyline. Magnificent. This is where we are. We're in Austria, where ski racing matters more than any other sport. Kitzbühel had a Super G yesterday, won by the Olympic downhill champion Matthias Meyer, triumphant on Friday. Today's the day that really matters, and the Austrians will be desperate for a downhill win. Apologies for the typo there. And Sunday is Slalom Sunday, where Marcel Hirscher will be one of the pre-race favourites.
Now there is the warm-up area at the top of the racetrack. Some of the athletes on the bike doing a little bit of spinning. Others choose just to switch right off, headphones on, and almost go to another world. Let's get to the race though. Big number 5, the downhill champion of last season, the winner here last year. The big shot for Italy. This is Peter Phil out on course. He's one of those skiers that looks to have the minimum of effort, but with the maximum of performance.
And he's got so much experience. He will have done this track sort of 15, 20 times nearly, and he will use every ounce of that knowledge as he comes down here, making good turns through this opening section. Through the chatters, he's still able to find a clean edge. Now he builds big left foot turn. This is the part where he carries very, very high, trying to carry lots of speed across the flat.
Oh, beautiful. So calm and cool through carousel and Steinheim, and the result, he's got the green light. 0.14 of a second quicker than Adnan Tamou. Still early days as we pick him up off the Stillheim-Sprung, but now it's up to 0.32. Oh, this would be magical if Peter Phil could do it again.
Looks so relaxed. He looks like a man who's not panicking. He knows what he's after as he's coming from light to shade. That's another thing that the racers are having to deal with. Just a little bit of perception of what's happening underneath them on the snow. That's tricky.
Larchenschuss now. Again, a little bit of a breather before you prepare for the Oberhausberg and then the Hausberg counter, now known as the Red Bull jump. Here he comes, Peter Phil. This new double gate takes a little bit of the speed off to avoid the problems that we experienced last year with 4 racers in the top seat crashing at this point. And now the toughest part of the track, onto the traverse. Your gravity is pulling them down the mountain and you've got to cut across it. Green light again. The Italian fans are on their feet. Peter Phil in that tight bullet-tuck position, and Italy have got it. Italy are in the lead. Peter Phil, 0.3 of a second, the right side of the clock. The downhill champion from 2016, the winner here a year ago, is on top of the table once again, with Mr. Schwarzenegger also back.
He looks impressed with that, as he should be. It looked like he's so calm down there. Didn't look like he was panicking. Didn't look like he was fighting against the hill too much. Looked like a man on a mission. Knew what he's after. A little bit off balance over the Red Bull jump. Didn't panic again. Rolled up, then dropped down onto the fall-away.
Here's one of the big guns from Team Austria. There will be 60,000 spectators. It's a deafening roar from the commentary box. You can hardly hear yourself speak. Hannes Reichelt is out on track. The winner of the downhill here in 2014. One of the big stars of Austrian ski racing. And the green light is there. But Reichelt's in trouble. Throws it all away in the style hand and scrubs off all of that excellent work on the opening turns.
Oh, he'll be devastated. That was such a big error. Let's see if he's managing to put that out of his mind and really just try and crack on with the attack. He's got to try and he's got to find a second. That's going to be nigh on impossible, but he's still got to concentrate down here. This is a track
takes all your concentration and needs your full attention from top to bottom. Yeah, this 3.3 kilometre track, it's only 2 miles long, and there's very little room for error. Look at Rijkaard here, trying to pull every little bit of experience and trick out of the bag to try and make up for that error in Steilang. It's not been a good weekend for him. Yesterday really struggled, didn't bring his A game, and likewise with that big mistake, again, not really brought it. But from that mistake at the top, he's ticking away tenths. That's going to be even more frustrating knowing how quick he's going now. One big error on the top, and that's almost going to be too much. We'll be very, very surprised if he manages to pull 8 tenths back. Oh, they haven't won the downhill here for 10 years, Team Austria, and many thought that it would be Rijkaard. Is it the pressure? Or is it just lady luck on the wrong side of the track foot? Rijkaard, he's looking a little tired. He needs to be careful here. Looking a little straight in the legs as he comes to traverse. See how he's opening up very tall to try and get more air into the lungs. Now he gets a good high line on traverse. 0.64. Now 0.65 off the pace. Can Hannes Rijkaard do something extraordinary? 141 through the speed gun. That is over 88 miles an hour. Rijkaard into third position with an electrifying finish, but the mistake in there, well, he knows it, doesn't he? The mistake in Steilang puts pay to Rijkaard's chances. Here it is again in slow-mo. Just carousel, here it is, pushed onto the tails, and then with the conditions that slick, then trying to find an edge when you're not really over your outside ski. But what a run from there down. He's going to be cursing that error, that mistake. Could have been the difference between him off the podium and on the podium. So frustrating because he skied quality from there on down. Italy lead, and Italy are next in the gate with another former winner on the Stripe racetrack here on the Honeycomb Mountain of Kitzbühel, Austria. This is Dominic Paris, a real old-school downhill racer. He's big, he's powerful, he's aggressive, and the tougher it gets, the more he wants to go for it. He's an absolute unit. Over 100 kilos, getting up to 100 kilometres an hour in a couple of seconds. That shows you how steep and aggressive you have to be on this track. Look at him now as he's trying to stay that high line that Phil took. Executing it like Peter Phil did. He would have had that report from Phil at the bottom and the coaches, which will be positioned at intervals on the way down, so he'll be kept right in the loop. He'll know where he did well and he'll know where changes need to be made. He's looking so confident here. Look at him trying to juice the skis, and that means just squeeze a little bit of extra speed on those little rollers on the flat section here. 0.34, that's well within his capability, and we could well see Italy going 1 and 2 here. And you can see the confidence every time he can. He's straight back in the tug, even when the skis are rattling about a bit. He's in his tug, look at that, staying nice and compact, straight, heavy on the edge, trying to be smooth and making up time. Now, when you're one of the biggest and most powerful racers on the tour, this is when it becomes an advantage. On this very difficult closing section, look how low and aerodynamic he stays through Laurentius. And there it comes, the green light. He's timed this perfectly. Oberhausberg and into the Hausberg jump here. Oh, there's a mistake from Paris. Almost went down. Through the new double gate, now through the Red Bull arch, and Dominic Paris, watch the split, still in control. Now he draws on those huge, powerful legs to get himself across the traverse, and then the weight will help him find speed on the lower section. Italy will go 1 and 2, but it looks good for Dominic Paris. 140, 88 mph through the speed gun. What a ski for Paris! 4 tenths faster than his teammate Peter Phil. That is quite special. In control from start to finish, and timed his change up into turbo to perfection. Beautiful work from Dominic Paris, justifiably into top spot. Lovely turns through that middle section. Just watching him roll from edge to edge, even on those big downhill skis, looking for clean turns. And look at the distance he gets. Here, look at him, straight back in his tuck, not even bothered. In his tuck, he's trying to stay aerodynamic through the air, but that's a sign of confidence and control. Put those together, and even with the small mistakes that he made, he recovered within a split second. Let him dragging his arm through the snow there at 70 miles per hour. That is not in the technique rulebook at all. Certainly isn't. Just getting caught a little bit on the inside. Luckily, it didn't cost him too much. It could have cost him a couple of tenths. People will be looking that in the start and knowing that he's made a little mistake and still in the lead. So that's going to give them
a little bit of a confidence boost sitting at the top.
Alpine Skiing World Cup from Kitzbühel. Tomorrow, live on Eurosport 2. Ski, shoot, and collect victories in the Biathlon Mania online game. Biathlonmania.com.
Engaging conversations and a shot at finding the one. That's why I'm on Elite Singles.
EliteSingles.co.uk for single professionals.
I'm not selling my car privately. I'm too busy fighting dragons and rescuing princesses.
Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
At Oak Furniture Land, everything is 100% real hardwood. And for just £43 per month, you can furnish a whole room with up to £1,500 worth of furniture. And there's a free gift worth up to £300. What's more, we could deliver within 7 days. January Super Sale ends Sunday.
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of the Australian Open. Tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1.
Let's watch this man very carefully. Carrying big 15 for Team Switzerland, Carlo Janka, a former Olympic champion, former overall World Cup champion, and a man has got some form here. He was third in this race last year. Carlo Janka, one of the smoothest, cleanest, most technical of all skiers on the tour. And it doesn't surprise me to see .21. But perhaps for Carlo Janka, he wants to make amends for Beat Voigt and get the Swiss team back in this race.
Getting a little bit twisted there. He could be a bit of a dark horse. He does like this track. He's very smooth. He's got a great feel for what's happening underneath the skis, and he will have had all that information. Look at that. 6/10 the right side of the clock, and now he will take that all the way through this next section. Got such a good feel on the skis. Wouldn't be surprised if that's grown.
Now, all of that hard work on the top part of the challenge, it pays dividends as he comes to the second half. 0.51 up on the Italian leader, Dominic Paris, and his skill set will be perfectly suited to this demanding lower section.
Great, comfortable jump. Again, bleeding away a little bit of time. He's got to stop that deficit from getting any smaller. Oh, such a straight line through there, taking all the risks, trying to ski as short a line as possible. Heavy on the left foot, trying to stay high, not getting dragged too low. Good turn.
And he's cut it just a little too fine. Pitching the line is straighter, but not always faster. And Carlo Janka now needs to execute the Hausberg jump and the traverse with perfection to put the Italians out of the top places. So far, so good for the Swiss. 1/100th of a second, the right side. Onto the right foot now. Stand hard and hold, 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 then dive into the foreline. Carlo Janka needs to find .18 to take the lead. This final jump is crucial. Skis back in contact with the snow. Switzerland or Italy? It is Italy in control. Carlo Janka into third position. No change in the top positions. Dominic Paris and Peter Phil see off the best from Switzerland.
Whoa, that was a tight one. Oh, that's very tight. Good run though. Again, so smooth. Getting a little bit bounced on some of these ruts and bumps. But, whoa, look at that. The shocks that are going through the body from these conditions. Getting a little bit twisted up. But look at the skis as they try to maintain contact with the snow. Look at them bouncing around, trying to find clean grip.
Let's turn our attention to Canada. Eric Gay is out on course. Eric, whose PB is second position in the downhill here in 2013. Canada dominated here in the 1980s. 1980, Ken Reid, 81, Podborski, 82, Podborski again, 83, Todd Brooker. Those were the days when the Crazy Canucks owned this piece. Wouldn't it be magical if Eric Gay could bring those glory days back here right now?
And he's used every ounce of this perfect technique that Eric has to negotiate good top section. A little bit behind the time here, but he's a great glider, and we will see what Eric's made of. Look at that, 3/10 nearly to the good. Look at him trying to stay. Oh, he's getting pinched around a little bit. This was the turn that Janka smashed straight through the gate.
Well, like Carlo Janka, Eric Gay is a technical master, often used by coaches as a role model for up-and-coming racers. 0.23, again he's struggling with the line in the Larsen Schuss, but here he comes. 0.23 is well within his capability. Through the Red Bull arch, as he prepares through the double gate, the new gate, remember? Small flight and prepare for traverse. Now 0.16 with a good, strong finish, and if Eric Gay can keep the focus here, he could take the lead from the Italians. Look at him trying to hold the line. Now dive into the four-line. Not as quick as he wanted. Across traverse. 137 is fast through the gun. 155.01. 155.50. Oh, the cruelest of placings. Fourth position for Canada's number one, Eric Gay.
Just got dragged a little bit low through the four-way. He was a little bit twisted. He was desperately trying to find a clean edge. Didn't quite get it.
Well, the Italians still full of smiles and waiting patiently, but they will not be celebrating just yet. Attention turned to the man who won the Super G here yesterday, the man who won the Olympic gold in Sochi in 2014. This is Austria's new star, Matthias Meyer, looking to take his biggest victory in his career to date. Beautiful execution off the Mauserfahler jump into carousel with a very healthy green light as he tackles the Steilang.
Lovely, calm skiing through there, not getting flustered. Now stand heavy on that left foot. Try to stay clean, get out of those nets. Nice and low, taking it right to the edge of the piste. Look at that, quarter of a second, 110 kilometres an hour through the gun. Meyer is flying.
Part 1 goes to plan for the Olympic champ. Now part 2 and part 3 to be executed. How does the story unfold? Split time interval 3. The green light's still there. The Austrians are screaming with joy, and the double is on the cards.
Beautiful skiing. I still think he's going to have to go some. Peter Phil was very good through this middle section. Now we're going to see if Matthias Meyer can make up this small deficit. Got to be clean. Draw on those Super G skills here as he rolls up onto the left foot. Clean execution. Let him go.
Still only 26 years of age. This young lad now starts to feel the pressure, and he doesn't show that he's got the power in the midsection. Believe you me, he can still make up 0.53 if those skis are running nicely. Now, execution over the Hausberg jump to set himself up for traverse is the next key. He takes a 10th off, now down to 0.41 of a second. Stand hard on the right foot now, almost climbing across the mountainside. Dive down into the four-line. It's 4/10 now. If he can take another 2 off, he'll be on the podium. The speed is there. 155.01 the target time. Meyer for Austria, 6th position. No double victory for Matthias Meyer, 0.75 off the pace. It's a pretty good result, I have to say. His best downhill result of the season, but Mr. Schwarzenegger so badly wanted one of his fellow Austrians to take top position, and he'll have to wait and watch a few more.
Dominic Parrish will take a big sigh of relief having seen off Meyer down there. That's one of the big challenges for today's victory. Look at the flight. And again, so calm in the air, getting a little bit twisted as he's trying to push that trajectory across the hill. Such a calm dude, look at him. Doesn't even look out of breath.
Then a great shot of Niki Lauda, getting up into the leaders' enclosure to congratulate Dominic Parrish just on the right, and then Peter Phil in the centre there. a legend of speed, congratulating our current speed leaders. Watch this man carefully. Johan Claret, the only man to ski over 100 miles per hour on the World Cup Tour. This man loves his speed, and if he can get these top turns out of the way, he'll go really fast on the lower section. If you look at those splits that we analysed, Ed, this man was nailing the lower part of the course quicker than anybody in the 2 practice runs earlier this week.
So he's gonna have to get there with and be in touch. And only 600ths down, he's doing just that, really getting over it. Again, that similar high line to we've seen the Italians take. The French are taking the exact same line.
There we see it, green light. Watch him come now. Claret for France, now 0.48. Again, as predicted, he's had some very fast split sections. Hasn't put one run together from top to bottom, but this is the day, time and place to do it. Right now, it's been a long time since the French have won here in downhill. Luc Alphand back in 1997, and 20 years old. Claret could be the big upset of the race.
And he's still got the green light through the section where Dominic Parrish dominated. So here comes Claret, staying smooth, staying compact, as he rolls from edge to edge before coming to the big Red Bull jump, before setting that right foot.
Jean-Claude Killy in 67, Luc Alphand in 97, and 2017 could belong to Johan Claret. Onto the right foot now, cutting across Traverse, diving into the Zielschus. The big upset is on the cards. Oh, the light goes red. 700s to find. Here comes Claret. Hold that tuck. Keep your nerve. And Johan Claret is nearly there. Claret. Oh, he's missed it. Second position for Johan Claret of France. That is quite spectacular. The race is far from over. Italy won. France in second. Peter Phil is third. We're now into big 24. Valentin Giraud. The million-dollar question now is, are one of the young rising stars going to give it a bit of an upset here, or the skiers that are now on the podium are looking good, not only for the points, but the big prize purse as well?
I think it's still possible. The track is still fast, and the top guys, none of them got sort of a fabulous run. So there is still possibilities for the younger guys that are coming up.
And of course, Sweden not looking that good. You're more British than you are Swedish now. And Dave Riding, our new hotshot skier from the United Kingdom. When are you going to sign him? And secondarily, could this be the upset that we're referring to? This is Valentin Giraud from the French team. He's had a valuable course report from Johan Claret, who lies second for Team France. But this could be a huge upset. It's been 20 years since the French have won, and Giraud tucks to the line, and no, he pushes Claret into third position. 2 French racers now on the podium, and we need to watch this race carefully. The former British #1 Ed Drake tipped earlier this morning that as the temperatures rise and the snow molecules change, sometimes the track can speed up, and this could be one of those golden races for the later numbers.
It's true, but also you have to keep in mind the visibility gets worse and worse. So now it's getting darker and darker, and then it gets difficult to see the bumps, and you get offline a little bit.
Johan, it's been great to see you in the box. Let's get Ed back in there. Thank you for all of your support. Our sport would not be as big as it is without you. But let's go skiing, ladies.
You're fantastic for the sport, Mick.
Dominic Parrish in the centre of your picture leads, but it's the French skiers full of smiles. Johan Claret and Valentin Giraud that make up the podium positions. And the best of the Austrians, the Olympic champ, Matthias Meyer, down in 8th place. Early starter Steve Nyman has to settle for 10th position. Eric Gay, the best of the North Americans, in 6th place. But you cannot take anything away. Dominic Parrish is starting to make a bit of a name for himself as the man that does the business on Kitzbühel, winning the downhill here for the 2nd time and his 3rd win on the Hahnenkamm Mountain. It is Italy that win the strife in 2017. It's the 7th win of Dominic Harris's career here. And I think this is the kickstart of many more to come on the tour. He sets himself up as one of the big favourites for the next big event of the men's downhill circuit, the World Championships in St. Moritz in Switzerland. Dominic Strong, Jeroen has set his ski career on fire here today with a huge PB, and Claret, another racer that's battled with injury, finally finds top gear to take the 3rd spot on the podium. That brings us to the end of our coverage from Kitzbühel. Many thanks to Ed Drake, to Johan Elias and Matt Chilton for this fascinating and extremely entertaining race. But don't forget, there's more to come from the Austrian Tour. We'll be back tomorrow live here on Eurosport with the Rocket from Lancashire. Dave Riding looks to put British skiing on the map here in Kitzbühel with a 2-leg slalom race live here on Eurosport. Until then, from Nick Fellows of the Eurosport ski team, many thanks for your company. It's goodbye for now.
Anche quest'anno tutti in Trentino.
Esatto.
Perfetto.
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of the Australian Open. Tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1.
The Microsoft Cloud helps us stay connected.
The Microsoft Cloud offers infinite scalability.
The Microsoft Cloud helps our customers get up and running anywhere on the planet. Wherever there's a phone, you've got a bank. And we could never do that before.
The cloud gave us a single platform to reach across our entire organization. It helps us communicate better.
We use the Microsoft Cloud's advanced analytics tools to track down cyber criminals.
This cloud helps transform business. This is the Microsoft Cloud.
All stars, best sausages in town.
Nice to say anything about parking. We're just finished. Now that's how you park in this town.
Drivers win at Confused.com. Number 1 for car savings.
At Oak Furnitureland, everything is 100% real hardwood. And for just £43 per month, you can furnish a whole room with up to £1,500 worth of furniture. And there's a free gift worth up to £300. What's more, we could deliver at a time that suits you. January super sale ends Sunday.
Vodafone's biggest ever winter sale is now on. Treat yourself to great savings on big brands with 6 months half price on pay monthly bundles, plus up to 50% off pay-as-you-go phones and home broadband connection fees. All on our even bigger and better network. Discover in store or search Vodafone Winter Sale. Vodafone, power to you.
victories in the Biathlon Mania online game. Biathlonmania.com.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The William Hill app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
What will happen to your dreams when you grow and the game becomes more than just fun? Will it take you down? Or will you get up and go again? Ask yourself this: what will become of that moment you worked your whole life for?
Tennis now, and 2009 champion Rafael Nadal has booked his place in round 4 of the Australian Open with a comeback win over teenage star Alexander Zverev. 19-year-old Zverev, seeded 24th, stated his intentions as he broke the Mallorcan serve in the very first game before serving out the opening set. But the Spanish 9th seed showed his gritty character, breaking in the second set before levelling up the match. But Germany's Zverev, who hit 58 winners and produced 74 unforced errors, went on all-out attack and forced a tiebreak, which he then took 7-5. 14-time Grand Slam champion Nadal, in no mood to surrender, he cantered through the 4th to ensure it would go to a deciding 5th. The level at 2-2 in the deciders, Zverev suffered cramp at the worst possible time and was picked off by Nadal.
Bueno, es muy pronto, ¿no? Pero evidentemente es un partido.
It's too soon, but obviously it was a very important match for me. It's been a while now since I not being able to make it that far, and I'm aware that I've been preparing myself and the training for last season to be able to go through and enjoy moments like this. So physically I was feeling in good shape. The longer the match went on, my body just responded well to what I was asking it to do, and I believe it's great.
Nadal goes on to face Gaia Monfils in the 4th round.
13, Milos Raonic overcame a third-set blip to beat Gilles Simon and continue his serene progress into week 2. Last year's Wimbledon runner-up stormed through the opening set with a double break in less than half an hour as his French opponent struggled. Simon solidified his serve in the second set as it went to a tiebreak, but the match appeared to be all but over when Canadian Raonic doubled his lead on his second set points. But board number 25, Simon dug deep and he fought back from a breakdown in the third set with 4 games in a row to force a 4th. The pair traded breaks as the prospect of a decider grew, but Raonic showed his class to make the decisive move into game 6. And he saw out an ultimately convincing 6-2, 7-6, 3-6, 6-3 victory, and he'll play Roberto Bautista Agut for a place in the quarterfinals.
Grigor Dimitrov produced some scintillating tennis to see off France's Richard Gasquet and booked his place in the 4th round. The two players kept waiting until almost midnight to start this match, but that didn't appear to have any ill effects on the Bulgarian. He cruised through the opener 6-3. Well, in fact, Dimitrov broke early in every set, and Gasquet, who'd made a very promising start to the tournament, simply never got going. 15th seed Dimitrov conjuring up 48 winners, and this would be only his second win over Gasquet in 7 meetings. In the end, it was all over in 2 hours and 2 minutes. Dimitrov, who won the Brisbane title in the run-up to Melbourne, looking in ominous form. He'll go on to face Denis Istomin, the man who conquered 6-time champion Novak Djokovic.
To the women's now, Serena Williams thrashed fellow American Nicole Gibbs to ease into the Australian Open last 16 on Saturday. The 22-time major champion completely overpowered her opponent on Rod Laver Arena. Barely broke sweat in taking the first set with 5 successive games, including 2 breaks of serve. The second set followed a similar pattern to the first until Williams appeared to lose concentration when serving for the match, but the 35-year-old finished it off in the next game to set up a fourth round meeting with Barbara Strykova, 6-1, 6-3, the final score.
I think I had two really tough matches, and today was a mentally tough match, so it's all been really interesting. I have another tough opponent coming up, so it's been really good. Hopefully I'll be able to keep it going.
Elsewhere in the women's draw, Karolina Pliskova survived a scare against Latvian youngster Jelena Ostapenko. The fifth seed fell 5-2 in the third set, but she battled back to oust the 19-year-old 4-6, 6-love, 10-8. Next up, 22nd seed Daria Gavrilova. Katerina Makarova came through a marathon encounter with Dominika Cibulkova, reaching the second week of the Australian Open for the 7th consecutive year. Makarova had never beaten the reigning WTA Finals champion before, but she prevailed at 6-2, 6-7, 6-3 after nearly 3 hours on court. Now her reward is a matchup with the British #1 Johanna Konta, who stormed past former world #1 Caroline Wozniacki. Konta riding a high after winning the APIA International Sydney last week, and last year's semi-finalist eased through in 77 minutes, 6-3, 6-1.
Germany's male relay team have won their first race in nearly 2 years in the 4x7.5km event in Antalselva. The German quartet in second place behind a rapid Norwegian team by the end of the third leg, who then had a 4-time Olympic champion Emil Hegler Svensson as their anchor up against Simon Schempp. However, at the final stand shooting, Svensson missed 2 targets to Schempp's 1, and in the end, that made all the difference. Schempp tucked in behind the Norwegian, leading the shoot, and then out-sprinting him to take the win by just 0.1 seconds. Russia missing the same number of targets as the Norwegians, but over 30 seconds off the pace, back in third.
Meanwhile, it was a day to savour for Germany's Nadine Horchler, and she claimed the very first victory of her biathlon career in Anholz. Overall leader Laura Dahlmeier led the way after the third shooting range in this 12.5km mass start event, but she came unstuck at the final stand, missing 2 targets, and the German, who's renowned for her speed on the skis, giving herself a mountain to climb. That left the reigning World Cup champion Gabriela Kukalova and Horchler battling it out at the front, with Dahlmeier rapidly closing the gap. A final surge saw clean shooting Horchler take her maiden win, Dahlmeier snatching second ahead of Kukalova.
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of the Australian Open, tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1.
Mystery, dreams, monsters. Bad things come at night. I need to be ready.
You're in a great game now.
You know what? I'm ready.
I'm on top of a fiberglass hippo. I was wearing a top hat, so you don't forget to use topcashback.co.uk. I joined for free, and within a year I got £325 back by shopping online with these top brands. I got cashback on top tech, top fashion items, and even on pizza. Nice toppings. This is a leprechaun.
Top of the morning to you.
This is happening.
Get cashback on top at topcashback.co.uk.
In the Oak Furniture Land January Super Sale, everything is 100% real hardwood. You can furnish a whole room in style with up to £1,600 worth of furniture for just £44 per month. We can deliver within 7 days at a date and time that suits you. And right now, there's a free gift worth up to £300, so you won't lose any beauty sleep. January Super Sale ends Sunday.
There is a place where the final whistle is never the final whistle. Where the turnstiles never stop turning. And the cheering goes on forever. last count, we were over 22 million strong. I'm a member of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and I gamble responsibly. A Bet365.
The Africa Cup of Nations on Eurosport is presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
Good evening and welcome back, everybody. We're live in Gabon at the end of the first week of AFCON 2017, and it is the second round of group games. We conclude here in Port Gentil tonight with Egypt against Uganda. Egypt, the competition's most successful ever nation, back after this brief hiatus. Uganda back after more than a generation of watching from the sidelines. Here we are. This is what we've got to look forward to. But earlier on today, the other two teams in this group were involved in the game. Ghana against Mali. Ghana, remember, had a narrow 1-0 victory in the first game, and they had exactly the same here, but a fine goal by Jordan Ayew, set up by Asamoah Gyan. Mali dominated the second half, and there was a great chance here. Khalif Koulibaly bringing that fine save. Unlucky in the end, then Mali on the day, but it ends with another victory for Ghana. And there we are, 2 wins from 2, Ghana top on the day that it began to emerge that Aaron Grubb will be relinquishing control at some stage after the end of this competition. Egypt and Mali on a point, Uganda yet to score, so it is a big, big night for Egypt and Uganda. Well, we'll find out maybe a bit later on whether Nada is indeed going to marry him. It might take an Egypt win tonight, he might get lucky, you never know. All sorts of emotions here. Even one is falling asleep. The match is upcoming live in just a couple of minutes.
Tomorrow on Eurosport 2, ski jumping's elite take off in Zakopane for maximum meters, maximum marks. And biathlon's women's race, the relay in Athos.
This year on Sky Atlantic. Incredible award-winning drama. The biggest stars. A new big screen drama every month of the year. World-class storytelling exclusively on Sky Atlantic.
To some customers.
That's right. As a reward current account customer, you can get money back from the types of places you like to shop. And eat.
Man, that was delicious. Righty. Yikes. Goodbye.
Nice work, guys.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Oh, shocker of a late goal.
Cammy?
Unlucky, mate. And your ACCA was in great shape. But luckily, Ladbrokes now gives you unbelievable 5-team ACCA insurance.
Really? How does that work?
It's simple. When one team lets you down on ACCAs of 5 teams or more, you get your money back as a free bet. Unbelievable! Unbelievable 5-team ACCA insurance with Ladbrokes.
I'm going to say something radical in this advert for WeBuyAnyCar.com.
I might have got more money for my car if I'd sold it privately.
Yeah, I said it. But I ask myself, how much do I value my time? Am I going to put up with all that hassle for a bit more money? Would you?
No, Daddy.
Value your time? Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com, the UK's favourite car buying service.
Vodafone's biggest ever winter sale is now on. Treat yourself to great savings on big brands with 6 months half price on pay monthly bundles, plus up to 50% off pay-as-you-go phones and home broadband connection fees. All on our even bigger and better network. Discover in store or search Vodafone Winter Sale. Vodafone, power to you.
The Africa Cup of Nations on Eurosport is presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
Welcome back then, live to Gabon, ahead of Egypt against Uganda. Final round of second round matches in the AFCON tournament. Now, big night of snooker ahead of us as well. From Alexander Palace, it is the semi-final of the Masters. Joe Perry against Barry Hawkins. It is on now, live on Eurosport 2 and on The Player. And the winner gets the right to play Ronnie O'Sullivan in Sunday's live final. Well, back here, the teams getting ready to emerge into the evening floodlit sky. Egypt have had their moments of struggle against Mali a couple of days ago, due in part to their inability really to play that passing game of theirs on this less than perfect playing surface, and the same issue is going to exist here again tonight. As for Uganda, Michu was summing them up after the loss against Ghana, and he said, you know, we paid very heavily for the one mistake, he said, that we made, but he did still feel that his team lacked a bit in terms of technical and tactical level against the opposition that they're meeting here. There's Odari, who's in the lineup as Egypt's goalkeeping crisis continues. Russell Osman is alongside me tonight. Russell, same issue then for Egypt tonight. They're not going to find it easy against a very physical team on a less than perfect playing surface.
Yeah, the problem is, for them, Tim, can they adapt their style of play to suit the pitch that they're going to have to play on? It's never very nice to have to do that. When it becomes such a natural way of playing for the Egyptians to pass the ball, to play through the midfield, to play it into the feet of people, and then you're not able to do so because of the condition of the pitch, you can either try and persevere with that and accept that you're going to make mistakes here, there and everywhere, and probably not quite be as efficient. But then it's a great leveller. So this today, the pitch will, I'm afraid, be a leveller between the two teams.
Neither team allowed to warm up on the playing surface out there tonight because the groundspeople were out doing some reparatory work to it. It was being watered down as well. So, you know, to play two games in quick succession on this is not going to do them an awful lot of good either, is it?
No, well, that just proves the point, you know, without wanting to harp on about it, you know, in a tournament like this, the pitch should be better. You can see the rutting there, where they've got drainage, obviously, underneath the pitch where the seed hasn't taken, and it looks a little bit as if it's troughed where the drains are. It's something we don't want to have to go on about, and we shouldn't have to go on about, but, you know, from the Egyptian point of view, it's going to cause them more of a problem probably than some of the other teams.
Well, we will begin, as ever, with the national anthems then of both nations. said on the eve of this game, this means an awful lot to my career, and that is not understatement. Mitch's message is we're trying our best to make everybody's happy and make them all proud with a sense of identity and belonging. Can they do it? We'll find out shortly.
The adrenaline rush of live sport. You can watch it, or you can get involved in it with the latest choral action. So, are you a spectator, or are you a player? You decide. Coral, get in on the action. When the fun stops, stop.
Welcome back. Let's get a check then on the two lineups here. Egypt's goalkeeping crisis remains, which means 44-year-old El Adari retains his place, and he is the captain as well tonight. Ramadan, who came in as a sub against Mali, retains his place as the only other change. And tactically, there's one alteration. Sarah takes Saeed's place, playing behind Marwan, who is the lone forward. There is our referee then for this evening, Mr. Dedu of Senegal. Senegal, who's making rave reviews for their nation's performance over here. There's El Adari said on the day of this game, early on this morning, I love challenges. He said, I've worked hard to get into shape, and I train hard, not because it's my job, but because I love football so much. Well, let's get a check then on Hector Cooper's team here. And, well, Hector Cooper said he was slightly worried about what tactics Mija would employ, actually. Tonight there are changes. Duco comes into partner Hassan at the heart of this defence, while Simbi starts at left back. And Okaya has moved from left back into a right-sided midfield position. We'll see if that actually pans out. Oucha comes into midfield as well, alongside of Kizitu, and they've switched formations here tonight from a 4-1-3-2, which they played against Ghana, to a 4-2-3-1, which they put out here tonight. Great quote that by Adari, really. He's always maintained a readiness and a preparedness on the off chance that he might be called in.
Yeah, he's still a very, very good goalkeeper. Tim, we saw in the first game where I think he got introduced into the game after about, 25-30 minutes. It took him no time at all to get the pace of the game. His handling of the ball was good on shots. His shot stopping was good. In the air, he was very good. Came out and pushed a few balls at corners and free kicks. And I think the rest of the team look happy with him in goal.
Well, they've got Trezeguet's moved into this wide position as well, which will maybe give this guy, Salah, more freedom to roam and cause problems in and around the edge of the penalty area.
Well, we had the discussion about trying to get Salah on the ball as much as possible in the first game against Mali. He didn't see enough of the ball. For my liking, he is a very, very influential player, the same as their captain Geoffrey Massa. They've got to get involved in the game.
Well, this guy, Onyango, was voted the best goalkeeper, best player, African-based player in Africa in the recent awards. It's ironic because he won that, yet he didn't actually make it into the shortlist for the best player in Uganda. Which is, somebody said, might show you that there are forces elsewhere at work in that particular competition or event. The 29-year-old who conceded only 2 goals in 6 games in qualifying, so that he led against IU in the opening game. Only the 3rd goal they conceded. So strong defensively are Uganda. It's what they're going to be offering going at the other end of the field. 6 there. Maweje plays his football in Iceland, in Reykjavik, with Protu struggling down at the bottom of the table. And 4 is Juko, who's one of the new caps here tonight. Massa is going in there looking for possession. A little nudge then on Igazi. Well, big nudge on Igazi.
Try to get away with it. You can't just allow the defender just to comfortably see the ball out. No worse off giving that free kick away.
Well, there's Michu, who's visited 50 at the 54 nations. I see myself a soldier and a servant of African football. Right there by Kizito. Here's Ramadan, who's on the opposite flank at the time when he came on the other night. There's Egazi into Ali Gaba.
Yeah, the same back four as the other night, very strong.
Yeah, strong fullback, Fatih. Salah's in a great position if they needed him. Ramadan's in there, Salah's dropped a little deeper to try and find a bit of space. Fatih's in there, that ball was out of play.
It was a good break from Egypt, just trying to be probably too careful with the final ball in that attacking third there. And then trying to knock it in there first time, trying to get to the dead ball line and nip it back. Good early break though from Egypt.
Losing out again, that was Achaya. Trezeguet to Onyango.
The goalkeeper's moaning about something already, whether he needs a change of glove or not, or...
That was Wallace Sibu very nearly giving the ball away, needlessly. There's El Nene in there. 8 there is Acho. Sheffield making the interception. Ramadan brings it away.
Two for Egypt. Looking quite sharp. As they came on for about 15 minutes, the end of the first game.
It's Jefu. Ikuma winning it again. There's Ramadan. So here's Ikuma once more. One in the air by Massa. Acho getting it forward here. Massa still the furthest forward. Is Hassan. Salah giving him too much time then. Good strength shown by Hassan. Is okay. It's interesting. We did say we wondered whether or not he would certainly appear over on the right side of midfield, and he hasn't. He's still playing over on the left.
Good pressure again though from Uganda. They're prepared to meet the Egyptian players high up the pitch as high as they can afford to.
Duma winning it in the air, only winning it again here. There's a performance saying that they played street soccer. Michu was quick to hit back though, by the way, as indeed were some of the players, by just asking him how many times he'd actually qualified for. There's a performance saying that they played street soccer. Michu was quick to hit back though, by the way, as indeed were some of the players, by just asking him how many times he'd actually qualified for an African Cup of Nations. And as the saying goes, it all went quiet over there. There's Ramadan. Again, Kizito is in.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a physical battle, I think, up front from Marwan. There's some strong defenders there. He's going to have his work cut out to win any headers or any physical battles.
There's Iguma. Shuffled on by Mia. Another few based in Europe, Mia. That wasn't a good clearance that by Ali Gabba. Penalised was Alcho. Looked a bit unfortunate that.
Can't get that referee, surely. Oh well. Egypt will just have to be careful when they try and play out from the back. You know, their natural instinct is to pass the ball across the back four. Just going to have to not take any chances tonight.
Goes Ghazi, not impressing anybody, least of all the referee. In the middle of the field. And again, looking for Wallasimbi here. Interesting ball, looking to try and pick out Massa. But again, Ali Gabba's over there. He's a real tough competitor, isn't he, Massa? Difficult to deal with. Nicely in the middle of the field. And again, looking for Wallasimbi here. Interesting ball, looking to try and pick out Massa. But again, Ali Gabba's over there. He's a real tough competitor, isn't he, Massa? Difficult to deal with. Nicely. Ramadan's in again. Great cutback. Trezeguet is in there. Salah was racing toward it.
Well, Ramadan's making a big difference to this team at the moment. He really is playing on the front foot.
And it's... Well, Yango's come in there again, challenging Tariq Ahmed.
Achilles, painful that.
And it... Well, Yango's come into Trezeguet. In there again, challenging Tariq Ahmed. Got a bit fortunate, actually.
Dealing with a cross there from Al Hadawi, but here's a terrific cross that whipped in from that right flank.
Well, He doesn't blame himself there, he blames Madawan.
Opening.
Sounds funny, right into attack here, Nasser. The challenge is of age. Applauds to attack here, Nasser. The challenge is of age.
I've been a foul warrant in a yellow card.
UGANDA.
Get a decent angle on the cross.
Here.
Pull his shirt.
It's Egypt who have been penalised and it's
For the attacker, blow up.
in the
It was stop them doing it straight away within a matter of weeks. Players wouldn't stop him. It was stop them doing it straight away within a matter of weeks. Players wouldn't stop trying to move it to the ball and get a decent angle on the cross.
Here.
Pull his shirt.
It's Egypt who have been penalised and it's disaster.
There's the experience for it, yeah. For the attacker, blow up.
In the end, quality him down. 33 goals.
Just wonder an extra few inches.
Cooper. Here comes.
So the whole of the ball appeared to be over the whole of the line there. Only one man's opinion.
It's well, he went in there with a vengeance.
The lot.
Well, he took everything.
Not penalised for it.
Senegalese referee believing there was a free kick in that.
Well, for the first 32 minutes, Uganda have done very well. No one want to concede between now and
He came gliding through there and decided to have a go himself. Gazi, too much height on it for Akaya. Was the MVP in Uganda's League, let me think. Africa with Reuterworth. But it came
to go through the middle. Mai's trying to play that 1-2. I think it came off the Ghazi a little bit, but fell nicely from here.
As we said, he scored important goals. Got 3 and 2 against Togo in the World Cup qualifiers. He got the deciding penalty against Ethiopia that got them into the final in the Sikafa. Nicely done that by Ocho. Up 4 here is Jude. But they've been growing in confidence steadily as the game has gone on in this first half.
Yeah, they're trying.
Into Okaya. Claim for Oya. A lot.
The ball. So he's going to find it tricky here. He keeps trying.
Madawan will be a target here. Ramadan is also in there towards the near post. Ramadan jumps for it there, and it does come off his head first. Ready movement is all very deep. Ghazi. I've seen them so many times try and work that manoeuvre where they go deep, trying to get it to Ghazi to head it back across.
Yeah, that one didn't come off for them, and then he's just overhitting the final pass.
He's been in Africa. Can't be much he doesn't know about African football. He's been in it since 2001. Started with Kampala. He's been to Ethiopia, South Africa, Tanzania, Sudan, Rwanda. So well-travelled man. Probably make a good agent there, Russell, with the amount of knowledge he's got about African football players. Back a bit, Egypt, because the final game is Ghana, and you've no idea what type of team they're going to put out there. Yes, they are already qualified, but it doesn't mean to say that they're going to be showing any generosity or they're going to give them an easy.
It all depends whether they want to finish top.
And again.
Good. Yeah, onside. No doubt about that.
It was Simbi who was playing him on. There goes Massa, who's had absolutely no change out of Igazi or Ali Gabba. What people do say is that good ball like is a really good ball. Mia, when he doesn't walk, and he gets it from Walla Simbi, is Okaya. Yeah, you can see that ball picking up a bounce. It's Okaya, Massa again. It's going to nip in.
Yeah, the ball just sat up. Oof.
Great bit of goalkeeping.
He's going to go forward with his head though.
It's Nikuma. Again, Okaya will look for with his diagonal crossfield ball, and again, one in the air. Ali Gabba, first time. Igazi is underneath it, second time. Making a bit of a meal of getting this through, but that was a bit of an elbow then in the back of Okaya's head. And Trezeguet down the line. Over there to cover is Azan. Egypt ball. A minute of additional time at the end of this first 45 minutes. Is Trezeguet. But then he's getting forward. Malasimbi losing his footing. Salah does well to hold it up. Tariq Ahmed is Ahmed Fati. Guma with the easy interception is Maweje. Ramadan now just gets his body in front of the ball and shields it well for Shefu of the first half, but it hasn't been a classic. But Uganda had to come out, they came out with a game plan, and they've nullified to a degree with the Egyptian forward line.
Yeah, I think Uganda have done very well. First 45 minutes, they've not just sat back, they've played, they've gone forward, they've tried to get in good advanced positions. The quality is just a problem of
Massa needs a bit more
quality of passes. Yeah, he does. It needs better balls played into him if that's going to be possible.
Well, that was one of the best. The key moment.
Real people, real hair loss, real stories.
I was really concerned about losing my hair because I'm an actor.
Guys, it's the best thing I've done. Call Advanced Hair Studio now on 0845 600 8899.
Dreams out there.
Mystery? Dreams?
Monsters?
Things that my mind. Be ready.
You're in a great game now.
You know what? I'm ready.
Mayday. This is Eagle 1, we have a problem.
Don't panic!
In this life, you've got to make every second count. Here we go. Renault Capture. Now available with 0% APR representative from £159 per month.
So, welcome back then. It is 0-0 Egypt and Uganda. Reminder that Ghana won by a goal to nil earlier on against Mali, which means it is still all up for grabs. Ghana have gone through with 2 victories, but it's still up for runs, as we said. Gave a few chances in that first half. Madawan just nipping in front there of Hassan. You can see him begin his move just here. Darts in front of Hassan, who, apart from that, had a very good game actually in the first half, as indeed did Juko and Ikuma. The only, or the weakest element of the back four certainly looked as if it was the new incumbent of the left full-back position, Wallace Simbi. A good turn again here by Salah, and again that ball taking a little bobble. The angle just a bit too acute in the end. Still, the one real quality act, one class act on this field is Salah. Again, can't fault the effort that he's putting in this first 45 minutes. Nothing really is going their way just yet. At the other end, chances few and far between. That was a beautiful delivery. Adani coming out, and it could so easily have ended up Madawan, and then, just as it looked, as if Oyango was just stood rooted to the spot in a form of suspended animation. He was just biding his time. A load of backspin on that ball, and he made the perfect interception with his head. So there we are. There is a goal in this group every 157 minutes. So well, you might be lucky in the second half to find out. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
The biggest stars. A new big screen drama every month of the year.
Always dip your chicken ball.
From office 10 a.m. meeting as moved, sending new route.
They call it.
In the Oak Furniture Land January Super Sale, everything is 100% real hardwood. You can furnish a whole room in style with up to £1,600 worth of furniture for just £44 per month. We can deliver within 7 days at a date and time that suits you. And right now, there's a free gift worth up to £300, so you won't lose any beauty sleep. January Super Sale ends Sunday.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The Willy Mill app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
Vodafone's biggest ever winter sale is now on. Treat yourself to great savings on big brands with 6 months half price on pay monthly bundles, plus up to 50% off pay-as-you-go phones and home broadband connection fees. All on our even bigger and better network. Discover in store or search Vodafone Winter Sale. Vodafone, power to you.
Welcome back, Dan. It is 0-0 between Egypt and Uganda. They're coming up tonight. We're getting close to the business end, aren't we? It's Grand Slam tennis, the Aussie Open from midnight, and Andy Murray will be live from 3 a.m. It's not a school night, so you can stay up for that. Dan Evans also in action from 5:30 a.m. He's on Eurosport 2. We've got highlights throughout the day And the entire event you can follow on the 16-court coverage across the Eurosport player. Here, all we want is a goal. One every 157 minutes, Russell. We're going to get a break in that now, aren't we? Coming up tomorrow, though, we've got plenty to look forward to as well. Cameroon against Gabon. That is from 6:45, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And the other game involving Burkina Faso and Guinea-Bissau. Of course, we took a point off them in the first game here for the first time. That is also 6:45, but that is on the Eurosport player only, live tomorrow night. Gabon, the last hosts to be eliminated of the group phase, Tunisia, back in 1994. It could happen tomorrow.
It could, Tim. Gabon facing Cameroon, and who knows? I mean, Cameroon, one win, one draw. They really still need 3 points, as far as I'm concerned, for the confidence. They want to go into the quarterfinals.
Well, they won their 3 group stage matches in 2012. They beat Niger, Morocco, and Tunisia. They were eliminated by Mali in the end, but it would be a huge disappointment for the tournament as well.
Yeah, but you can't expect Cameroon to try and do them any favours.
No, absolutely not.
Because it might...
Big day for Aubameyang as well.
Yeah. Well,
always a big day for Aubameyang.
Yeah, needs to keep it going.
Right, we will be back in just a few minutes' time with the second half. It is Egypt 0, Uganda 0. Who is going to get the breakthrough? We'll find out very shortly. Stay with us.
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The William Hill app is now clever fast. It gets you from login to bet place faster than ever. And of course, we're making it faster.
Welcome back then. We're just awaiting the teams to return for the second half here. It's Egypt 0, Uganda 0. Where do you see the breakthrough coming, Russell, if indeed we are going to get a breakthrough?
I think the breakthrough will come in Egypt's favour, because they've had some good possession in around the final third, and they look more purposeful when they get there. The way the Ramadan's playing down the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot, he's creative. He looks like he can see a pass. It's just not really happening for Salah, really, on the other side. So
it's interesting you're talking about that Salah on the other side, but Salah is supposed to be playing in the position just behind Marwan with Trezeguet out wide, but he gravitated back toward that wide position as the half went on.
I think he's more or less playing alongside Marwan. You know, he's not playing off him, he seems to be playing right up alongside him, so he'll be looking for bits and pieces in behind him, hopefully. I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to get runners up and past Marwan. Trezeguet's very busy play, he's quick, he likes running with the ball. The pitch doesn't suit that, though. So he's better try to just pass it and play balls in behind and have the runners without the ball doing the damage.
Uganda have coped with the surroundings of the pitch very well.
Yeah, they have done. You know, when they've got it wide, they've tried to get it into the 18-yard box. They're good, strong, physical athletes, so they're getting about the pitch very well. But Egypt have tried to play the game at a very high tempo. Every free kick, goal kick, corner they've taken quickly. And I think they're just trying to keep that pressure on Uganda, just hoping that somebody there will make an important mistake and it'll go in Egypt's favour.
How much is the pressure of what's gone before with Egypt weighing on their shoulders now? And what I mean by that is the fact that they've won it more times than anybody else. There's a big expectation.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've won it 7 times before, haven't they? You know, and they have been fantastic in this tournament for a number of years. So there's always a big expectation, and that weighs quite heavily sometimes. But you can only play as well as you're allowed to play, and at the moment Uganda are doing a good job of of dealing with what Egypt have got, and Egypt have got to try and come up with a game plan and a little bit of ability on the pitch to create something that they haven't managed to do so yet.
First free kick of the second half, 40 years ago, almost. It's that epic display making the final. Uganda were under the control of Idi Amin at the time, who was one of the team's biggest fans and followers. So many unbelievable stories about him turning up at training, dishing out wads of cash, sending his plane to pick up the players. And so any journo that wrote a bad report used to get exiled back in those days. Now, good delivery that was for the first time, and it was aimed at Aucho.
Didn't see the free kick. Maybe it was from Jaya coming in behind and getting up on the back of somebody. 1978 is a long time ago, Tim. It was a good year, mind. Ipswich won the FA Cup.
There's Shefu then into Ghazi. Brian Talbot.
Brian Talbot played. He played 3 consecutive FA Cup finals. One for Ipswich in '78, and then for Arsenal in '79, and Arsenal again in '90. Not '98.
Aucho into Kizito. Here's Mia. Kizito. Is that Juco? One surprise we haven't seen is more attempts at goal from some distance out, anywhere around 25-30 metres, considering how many good strikers of the ball there are certainly in this Egyptian squad.
Yeah, I think half the problem is, Tim, that players haven't got confidence in the surface that they're playing on.
That's nicely done. That's what it's in me. Into Aucho again. Okaya's wide of him. Here's Okaya. Again, Ahmed Fadi is right in his face. It's really good full-back play that is by him. Okay, he looks the epitome of calm and control, doesn't he? Oyango.
Yeah, very good play. A good left foot as well.
Free kick given away by Aucho.
Nearly got away from Fati, the right back.
Yes, once again, Iguma, who makes the interception. Ghazi winning it in the air. Here's Shefu. Iguma again. There's two in there, Aucho and Kizito, who hardly put a foot wrong.
Yeah, no, they're very good. Kizito, as you highlighted earlier, Tim, you know, he's played some great balls into the front players and into the advanced midfield balls.
There's Wallace-Imbi. Trezeguet. Should be a Uganda ball.
A little bit. I think it's important for Egypt that they keep the composure. They don't get rattled. I think it's important for Egypt that they keep the composure. They don't get rattled.
To Fati, picks up Trezeguet. Trezeguet inside of Wallace-Imbi. El Nene. Tariq Ahmed into Ramadan wants the return ball. Juco in with the challenge, and they get a free kick, Uganda.
get a free kick for a handball there? Or... I'm not quite sure what the free kick was given for.
The referee has had quite a hefty involvement in this game. It's Casito's turn. Now, there's a player. Yes, he's onside, or is he not? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. What a beautiful ball.
I would like to have a look at that again, Tim. Wow, what a great ball and a great finish.
Well, Akaya's first touch has looked to let him down on a couple of occasions. He got it spot on there, but was given as offside. And Ramadan is in here.
Oh, yes. Started off, stayed off.
Well, you go back to the tactical and technical naivety that Miku was talking about in some of his players.
Yeah, well, you can see from his position there, he can see that he's in an offside position because the whole of the defensive line from Egypt is in front of him. He knows he's 2 yards to the wrong side of them.
So what does it mean? The Kenyan-based players. It's actually coached by Bobby Williamson.
He's gone down.
Oyengo. Well.
He's tweaked a thigh muscle.
Well, Egypt will know how they're feeling now. The thought of losing their first choice and perhaps their best player who's quick to get there. Word in Trezeguet's ear. Let's have another look. It was just there. No play around.
I think he knew he got a problem. Why didn't he just kick it out with his left foot? I don't know. It's like a bit of a grimace on his face before he struck it.
Salim Omar is one of them. And Adnan Tamou is also on the bench. 2 years on him. Are they going to make it go off?
Well, he can't hit.
If he isn't, he perhaps should be. Player.
Well, he meets side.
Saeed, yes. Played in the hole, just behind Marwan. Who's he coming on for? Tariq El-Ami. So off he goes. Into Fatih. That on target. Look at the time and space he had here.
Well, great play again by Ramadan. I mean, he's trying to hit it very hard.
Hits it. Play once.
Not near straight.
In the first, he hasn't. Man who's
on
the World Cup. Just about. Well, it's.
He can play into and see if he can wriggle his. To get any power.
Is Okaya.
Go off. Here, this.
Just a bit too over.
Return.
It's okay, but again, line long range. Again, Guinea-Bissau, remember, again, doing anything of this is going to come. He's right in front of the keeper there.
Big buffer.
Trezeguet, El Said, Uganda. Dylan Salah, looking to try and get into. What is this? For Hagali. Performances, they've been very. He's back
and defensively.
Simply let him down. It's whatever, but so to.
And they go slow. Nobody on the far post. I'm not sure if it is the shape of the goalkeeper's legs, but it's
First team. Yeah, but they won't care about it in the mix. Has their respective games care about that.
I think they're a very strong team, you know, and I like watching Egypt play. I always go back to me. No, it's not. They
suddenly finds himself thrust to the library on 6 points. Egypt points. Egypt has their respective games. Means
Watch Murray versus Zverev in round 4 of Eurosport.
The challenge.
Nice touch. Suddenly finds himself thrust points. Egypt.
Lovely stuff.
Nice choice, fella. And don't forget the
My Bet at Home.
What's out there?
Mystery? Dreams?
Monsters? Bad things?
Ready.
unbelievable app. Live every year, including La Liga. And whether you bet pre-match or in play, it's quick and simple.
Lovely stuff.
Nice choice, fella. And don't forget the fast and smooth cash out. Ali? Unbelievable. Download the Ladbrokes app now.
And some statements we receive don't always get put in the drawer.
It's been nearly 40 years since Uganda were at the Africa Cup of Nations. And a weekend
Prosperity isn't always measured with a decimal point or a
Three kicks, there were many corners. Like I said, when they only had one shot, they weren't really getting decent balls into the 18-yard box. And if they got a decent ball in there, they never got the bodies in there to match up. El Hadari really had quite a comfortable evening in goal for Egypt. He had one or two little things to do, but
good for him because he's been able to build up his confidence and maybe get rid of any nerves that might have been there that maybe he might not be able to do it at the age he's at. El Side means they are the first team to go out. Here are the statistics that tell you a bit of a story.
The way behind the ball though.
That was Madawan again.
Yeah, good movement from the centre forward, guessing.
And here, underneath it, they've been plugging away.
Home.com
They've been plugging away for 2 games.
has been presented.
15.
Yankee like Conte.
15.
Yankee like Conte. Not
Carolina Bosnia.
Yankee like Conte. Not to said either. But,
Now, I've written here from the best. Now, the title of my topic tonight is how we can help turn their disability into what? Into what? I had a dyslexia. I couldn't speak. I couldn't put them out my mouth. They say, well, because you are not able to speak, you have not lost your life. You have not lost God. So, when the world gave up on me, this lady saw that potential within me and encouraged me, give me 3 that gap. One from year 1, you can go to school, to go to where they have a destiny to achieve on this planet. Let's help them to achieve that. Number 3 is what? S. Let's show this ability for disability. What area of my disability?
She said that even made her unto be legless. You know, I don't mean legless as in alcohol. Some disabilities are sat and didn't say a word. Nobody would ever think where she does effectively. That's the point. All right. Disability is a physical. that limits a person's movement.